I mean, I figure, coming into this podcast, you're in it. Like I expected the weirdness. I expected the
Yeah.
weirdness.
Uh-huh. And I brought it. And I brought all that's weirdness. But honestly, it was AJ's idea. And then Trevon told me that if I didn't do it, he would punch me. So that's how that
Mm.
happened.
I'm
Anyway,
not violent.
welcome. Trevon is very violent. You guys don't know what happens in pre-production, but I get threatened a lot. Welcome everybody to an all new episode of GVN Talk. This is a show where we kind of end the week culminating all the news that came out. Sometimes if there's no news, we just make shit up. Like Trevon punched me in the face before the show. But anyway, I want to introduce our panelists, starting off with AJ. What's going on, AJ?
Living my best life.
Hey.
That's all.
Oh.
I will find a way before the end of the show to humble that down a little bit. I don't like that.
I'm good.
It's too excited. I don't like that. Next up, award-winning, graduating, future head of Xbox robotic gaming and everything else gaming, Jamie. What's up, Jamie?
Nothing much. I'm doing good. It's weird like being out of school now and just like, you know what, maybe I'll just sleep for the whole day and just do that.
Don't do that too much. You're gonna get used to it.
Oh no, I'm not getting used to it, but I did need some time to decompress and I was able to. I'm on like the second episode of season 5 of the Clone Wars, so I did accomplish some things.
God damn, weren't you just on season 2 like yesterday?
No, I was on season 4 yesterday, but I was like I was like very close to season 5. I was only missing a couple episodes. So
I swear the last time we talked, you were like, yeah, I'm so behind. I'm only on like season 2. You almost caught up with Trevon. Then Trevon, what the hell you been doing now? Now we gotta pivot it. What you been doing?
Trevon works.
I work. Now there are certain shows that grab other shows grab my attention, and
exactly.
I have to look. Heartstopper came out, and I had to look. That was so cute. I had to watch it. So
what? Jaw droppers? What?
Heartstopper.
Jaw droppers.
I'm like, what does the candy have to do with anything? What are we talking about?
Very, very nice story.
Okay, yeah. Oh, that's fair. Look, you said you'll finish that and the movie before Kenobi, so I'll hold you to it. Jamie,
I honestly didn't think I was going to get this far.
Look at that.
It's good, isn't it? It's good, isn't it?
Yeah. See, the later seasons. Now I'm like, okay, I've invested. The early seasons, it was hard for me to get into it, but now I'm like, I'm here for it.
It's dark though. Yeah. I was like,
So since everybody here has seen the Clone Wars, or at least up to the point where I'm at, there's a Jedi. I can't remember her name. I'll have to look it up at some point. But she goes to fight Darth Maul and Savage Opress.
Oh my god, I know the exact episode.
Savage Ventress and Obi-Wan.
No, not her. No, it was like an actual Jedi. About. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, a Jedi.
The one that dies. The one that dies.
So I know the episode. It's when they're working with I can't think of his name, but he sells spice.
Oh, Hondo?
Their cocaine. Yes.
Yeah.
On that planet. That was when that was the first time Obi-Wan had saw that Savage Opress wasn't dead. And then saw Darth Maul again. And then that was when they had him cornered like against the wall, and Obi-Wan got out of that shit.
Yeah.
And then Savage lost an arm.
Yeah. That was like earlier in that episode, there was a Jedi that he took with him that ended up dying. Yeah. And then literally I haven't started. I think I'm on episode 2. I saw the intro and then I went to go for a walk. But literally in the intro of that episode, that Jedi is sitting there who's supposed to be dead. And I was like, what? What is happening?
Yeah, that was everyone when it came out was talking about that. Just like, Filoni, how do you fuck up like that? Like, what? She died. We saw it. Yeah, he spoke on that at the time and was just like, oops. Quite like how when The Mandalorian came out, it was just a regular dude in like jeans and a shirt in the background, like really quickly if you look. And then they were just like, oh shit, my bad, man. Shit happens. And it's like, all right. Luckily the episode was fire, but fix that shit. Like somebody's job is to make sure things like that don't happen. Fix it. But I'm very glad because you are really close to Mandalorian, the series, making so much more sense to you in the next few coming episodes.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. Once you get, that and Book of Boba will make so much more sense once you get out of these next few handful of episodes. So, and I'm glad I remembered that episode too. I love that episode.
Yeah, it was good. It was like there were a whole bunch of really good episodes back to back. I'm like, damn.
Yeah. And shout out to the fact that no drug dealer has created a drug and just called it spice. Like Star Wars was smart. They got ahead of it. They were just like cocaine, but spice. Spice. So I do want to ask you before I pass this to you, Trevon, and then I'm gonna ask you the same question. Jamie, what were your thoughts with the fake Kenobi death?
Since I've already seen like Star Wars movies that are in the future, I'm like, okay, he's not dead, but like, what's going on? Like, I don't know. At first, I didn't think that he died, and I think he just like, because it was kind of weird that he just like stepped out and just got shot. I was like, why did he do that? What? And then like finding out that he died, I'm like, and then Anakin like took it super seriously because he didn't know at the time. And I was like, what is going on right now?
But that's why I wanted to cue you up for, because that's why I said, Trevon, it's better to watch Revenge of the Sith first, because now as you're watching Clone Wars, because a lot of people, me and AJ remember this, like when that movie came out, a lot of people were just like, oh my God, Anakin's so whiny. Why does this matter? Why does he care? Like, get over it. Then when you watch Clone Wars, you're seeing all these holes filled in of the Jedi Council just constantly shitting on Anakin, to where it's building. And Trevon, because you're a little further than Jamie, you saw the ultimate moment.
Oh, I've hated them for a while, but they really solidified.
But I'm saying
you truly solidified to me now.
Specifically, you see the moment that broke Anakin's heart before, obviously, the moments we know in the actual movie Revenge of the Sith. You saw that moment where Anakin, part of him was gone, right? Jamie, you'll definitely get to that, so I won't allude any more to that. But
and then he gets hurt. Then he gets hurt again, but it has nothing to do with Jedi Council. But
right.
I was kind of messed up when they went to I don't remember what planet it is, but like where the Force wielders were, and then he was like kind of turning dark, and I was like, wait, like is this the rest of the Clone Wars? Like is he like dark now? But then like they did like the whole
you're talking about the
mind wipe.
Yes,
the planet or whatever. Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah. That's gonna be very crucial. Because that conversation he had with Qui-Gon, I believe he's gonna have a similar one in the Kenobi series. But it won't be Qui-Gon telling him that he ain't shit. like the Qui-Gon in the episode did.
As I'm watching this show, like I wish I didn't know who he is. Who like I wish I didn't know who Vader is like now. Like I wish I didn't know that knowledge of what he becomes, because I'm just expecting it. But I wish I didn't know, because as you're watching it, just like all you can think of, I know why. I get why he went that way. I get it now. Like, but I wish I didn't know. Like I wish you could just like, get there naturally. But yeah, I know it's coming, so it's like, yeah, I get it. But
that's why I said seeing Revenge of the Sith first and then watching it, it's like, okay, yeah, Anakin. We fucking get it. Yeah, we get it. But Trevon, outside of threatening me on the daily, like, how's it going, man? Like, how are you enjoying Clone Wars? You're pretty far in it. You're almost done.
Let's clarify something. I am not a violent person. I do not do the threatening. I get threatened by this guy. But what was your question? Because I had cleared it up first.
Because you were thinking of the threats, right? Yeah, it's okay. It's whatever. I only got a therapist because of you, but anyway, you're pretty far into Clone Wars. You're almost done. Can you solidify that it is important to the Star Wars universe to watch these?
Oh, it definitely is series? To know. This is clear. Yeah. I don't want to say much. I'm like, yeah, it's very clear. You need to see this to know his motivations.
Right.
You know, learning all about Ahsoka. Like I've learned so much about her from this too. So.
Oh my goodness! I was low key.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. No, go ahead, Jamie.
I was gonna say I was low key like. I don't know. I don't know what the emotion is. I guess like I don't know. Like I felt kind of like a mom like when Ahsoka was talking to I don't remember his name, like her little boyfriend. I was like, oh shit, okay, like all right, I see you. But then he was doing some crazy shit. And I'm like, Ahsoka, we don't need. I'm like, we don't need this now.
I did want to ask this as like a quick little quiz: who found and trained Ahsoka Tano? Anyone can answer.
And train her?
I know AJ knows. AJ better know.
I don't know.
He claims he loves Ahsoka.
I mean, I don't know who found her.
That's for the P.
I remember he was trying to give her to I can't think of the name. Wow, Obi-Wan. But he said no, give it to Anakin. But I don't know who found her though. I don't remember that.
No, I don't know that either.
Plo Koon.
Cloak.
The one with like the like the spider tentacle thing.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't know that one.
Plo Koon. That's why in the one episode where wait, AJ, if Jamie's in season 5, when is the Citadel?
That's still part of season 5. I think it's near the end. I think it's near the end of season 5.
You're not there yet. Okay. No problem. When you get there, things like that get brought up, and you see the relationship that Ahsoka has with Plo Koon, and then it's like, oh, okay.
I did kind of see like, or I kind of got the sense that they did have some history a little bit, because of what was it? There was like an episode. It was the episode where they were gonna do I don't remember what it is, but you know, like where they go down in the thing and they get like frozen, like I guess the cryo freeze thing or whatever. Yeah, it was that episode where like Ahsoka's like, "Why aren't I on this mission?" And Anakin's like, "It's too dangerous."
Wait a minute, hold on. That's the Citadel. Yeah. Okay. So
okay, that's what I thought you guys were talking about. But
yeah, you've already seen the Citadel. Yeah.
That's season 5.
He covered for her because they have that relationship. A lot of people skip right over that and we're like, oh my god, the most genuine relationship is Ahsoka and Anakin. I'm like, Plo Koon is sitting there like, well, fuck me, right? Like I only raised and trained her, right? Okay, cool.
That was in season like 3, I think.
No, the Citadel had to be 4 at least. It had to be 4.
The stuff that I was just talking about was like season 3.
Really? The Citadel was that early on? Hold on, because now I feel like my Star Wars card should be revoked. Like I remember the Citadel word for word,
bar for bar.
I just bar for bar. I just really thought it was
my sister
later. Let's see, season 3. You said, Jamie?
Yeah, probably.
Well, season 3 was the Mortis episode where you meet the father, son, and daughter.
No, Jamie's right. It was as early as season 3. Yeah. Yep. You're absolutely correct. I thought Ahsoka was just a little bit older. That's why that threw me off. But you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And Trevon could speak to this because he was texting me heated, and I've never seen Trevon mad outside of when he threatens me. But he was mad during the Krell episode.
Oh God.
where the Jedi that went to the dark side, where he was threatening all the clone troopers.
Trash.
He was a beast. Like he was a piece of shit.
Oh my god. Yeah, he sucks. Yeah. He's awful. I was really hoping that he was Sith because I'm like, there's no way.
So trash.
He was terrible. He was so bad.
Oh man. But look, if you ever had a question on how fucked up are the Jedi Order, wait till you get to the end of season 5. At the end of season 5, you definitely go, well, fuck all y'all. Like, all right, Anakin was spitting some facts real quick. But all right, so I'm glad you guys have gotten as far as you have. I'm glad you guys are enjoying it, and I'm glad you guys understand the importance of it. So there's a lot of people that are like, I'm not gonna watch it. And it's like there are so many questions you're gonna have.
I will say, for people that are hesitant to watch it, like I'm not gonna say skip the first couple seasons, but for me, like it was rough getting through those just because it didn't feel like it was attached to anything of importance, or at least anything that I recognize. And that just might be because I'm not like super deep into Star Wars lore, and like maybe it was attached to something and I just didn't realize it. But it also felt very sporadic to where I was like, we're on this episode, we're talking about this thing, and then like next episode, we're talking about this thing. And I'm like, it was hard for me to get a grasp on like what story they were trying to tell. But like the later seasons, I feel a lot more connected to, because there are like multiple episodes where they're connected together. And I think somebody was telling me like
I felt about Young Justice. Sometimes.
Young Justice deliberately is just like, hey guys, remember how last season was 2021? And we're like, yeah, welcome to 2036. What the fuck? How do we get here? And they're just like, don't worry.
They just jumped a whole other group of characters. And I'm just like,
yeah.
What happened to that one?
I will never forget watching Dick Grayson as Robin, and then the whole next season, this motherfucker's 30, and I'm like, where did time go? What happened here? What happened? Young Justice is like, just enjoy it.
Well, to be fair, with the earlier seasons of Clone Wars, it was an episodic type of format to it,
right?
Yeah,
and that was just the movies.
Yeah, and that was just to get us more introduced to the clones and how they acted, and then introduce us to Ahsoka and her chemistry between Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Plo Koon, and all of that. So
right.
For me, it was just the chemistry between everybody that the early seasons were trying to show.
The biggest problem is Clone Wars and Revenge of the Sith are just 1-2, right? Mm-hmm. Not 1-2 literally numerically, but I mean like they're individual movies. So Clone Wars is covering everything that happened during Attack of the Clones and everything that happened during Revenge of the Sith. So it has to be expansive. In the first few seasons that do come off a little boring, they come off that way because they're trying to establish you to the war, right? Because Clone Wars, you're kind of just like, we're in a war. And you're like, I guess I know how we got here. So they wanted you to understand the war, understand that these clone troopers are individuals. They look alike, but they're each different. George Lucas didn't do that in his movies. They were all one accord. So Filoni wanted to establish you to this full world. And then, like you said, once you understand who everyone is, all the players on the board, it started picking up and got a lot better, right? Because you don't have to focus on these story points as much. So, yeah, I could understand what you're saying. I could watch Clone Wars beginning to end. And what's funny is how you feel when you were watching it is how I originally felt. Like, I didn't see a fucking lightsaber anywhere in this episode. What the fuck is happening? And then when you kind of see everything play out, you're like, all right, well, thankfully, because I love Fives, I love Rex, I love Cody, I love all these troopers.
After you finish season 5, I want to like talk about this again because it's something that happens I still don't understand, but we'll get there. Yeah, we'll get there. So after you finish season 5, it'll be fun to talk about.
Okay.
All right. Nerdo Boy says, I have to thank the Clone Wars for giving us Cad Bane. Filoni is definitely specifically who you should thank for that. How good is the new season of Young Justice? I haven't watched them yet. It is, to me, the second best season of Young Justice. Easily.
Apparently the newest episode has somebody back.
Oh, I'm not caught up on Young Justice.
I will just say, for me, Young Justice, and I'll even go as far as to say I don't believe Young Justice has ever had a bad season, but it's so good that it's easily my second best season.
It knows what it wants to be.
That's
from what I stray away from it.
From what I heard about this episode, I'm assuming you love this episode. Did you see the new one? Juwaan? Okay.
Yeah, I watched it today. Okay. I watched that today, and I watched Halo today.
Halo is great.
No, listen.
Well,
if you took Halo out of the title, I would be able to accept it.
100%.
But
you want to know why? Because they're never in fucking uniform, so I could accept it a lot more because I never see him as Master Chief. Right? He gets called Master Chief, and I'm like, Master Chief out here getting cheeks. What the fuck is happening?
Yeah,
what are you doing? Like, what
I was
watching?
texting my friend who's like a super Halo fan, and I was telling him about the stuff that's happening because he refuses to watch the show because he's just like, I know it's gonna make me so angry. And I told him there was like a tweet that somebody tweeted out, like, yeah, I'm not gonna say it just in case anybody hasn't watched it, but it was like summarizing what happened this episode. He's like, there's no way that's real.
He just said it. So I mean,
I
just said it.
That's true. So yeah, Master Chief does get some cheeks. Master Chief cheeking it up. He was cheeking it up. And people were like, no, there's no way this is real. And he's like, yeah, this is real.
Mean, I see. Okay, I guess I still don't understand that thought process. I'm like,
well, it's because Master Chief was never like a sexual or romantic.
Jamie. It's cheeks.
I'm saying that, like, based on the stuff that's happened in the early episodes, it kind of makes sense for him to be and not military.
But like, this is a woman that he
Trevon,
literally just met, who's supposed to be a part of the enemy army. And now he's like, hey, like, you know,
well,
it's the connection. It's the connection, though.
Let me be clear, Trevon.
I don't know.
I'm not saying
I hate her, but
I'm not saying Master Chief. Or I'm not saying his love, the love interest angle doesn't make sense. I'm saying you're now starting to slowly strip everything of Master Chief that was interesting, right? Because to me, certain characters that you don't know anything about, like what they're into, he could have been into guys. You don't know anything about Master Chief, right? His only primary is war, right? That's it. And now that he has feelings and all this shit, I'm like, what the fuck is this? What am I watching? He doesn't want to fight. He wants to retire, go home, have some family. It's like, what is this shit? You're like, what? That's my issue with it, is that you're stripping the character.
I am wondering where it's going. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
You know what, Jamie? I'll say this, Jamie. I think you might like this. You know what they should have done? Because you just call it Halo, you should have had it to where these are all new recruits, right? Working under Master Chief. You get I would have preferred that. You get a no-name actor to be Master Chief, right? You get the voice actor back to just voice him. And it's not about Master Chief. He exists out there fighting the war, but it's about these newer characters. And if you want to add,
you know how mad people would have been about that.
See, they would have been mad because that's
happier with this.
They would have been mad with no Master Chief. They would that
like, it's because it's been done before. Like they have had multiple Halo shows, although they haven't been like on television or streaming platforms. But they have had multiple Halo shows where they are about the cadets and not about Master Chief. So this was like the chance to finally have Master Chief on the big screen.
And they're fucking
yeah, so like, they're messing it up.
I'd rather no Master Chief than taking Master Chief and fucking it up. That's all I'm saying.
I saw.
That's why I stopped watching after episode 1. So
I'm gonna finish this season, and then I don't know. I might have to stop.
I'm watching.
You're dedicated.
Okay. I'm enjoying when they do fight and all that stuff, but I'm also enjoying seeing him. So
we're moving on to Tristan. Hello, Tristan.
I'll be honest. Damn, I can't be honest.
So glad for you to be here, Tristan.
I understand.
We're talking story points, and Trevon is just like, but
I love him. Okay?
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, he is a handsome man. I'm not gonna lie. But at the same time, it's like I know who this handsome man is supposed to be, and I'm like, this is
don't let
I'm not
trying to pull the wool over me, man.
I'm not that attached. So
shout out to Nerd Old Boy. I hear Master Chief is butt naked a lot in the show. Yes, more than he is Master Chief. He's butt ass naked.
Master Chief.
I feel super sorry.
It's only been twice.
Hardcore Halo fans.
It's twice too many, though. Twice too many. And we got to see Kai's cheeks too. That's 3 times.
You know what I compare this to? You know how like people say like never meet your hero. Like you meet your hero, you really get to know them, and you're like, I kind of fucking hate you. I'm starting to get that way with Master Chief. Like the more I see about what they're doing to this character, the more I'm just like, maybe I should get rid of my Halo games. Like maybe they aren't as fun as I once thought they were. Like goodness gracious, it's making me hate everything.
After the first couple episodes, it was a little bit easier for me to like separate, like, okay, this is a different Master Chief. Like, you know, he's doing stuff that Master Chief normally wouldn't do. But then like this most
But
recent
why would you
episode
want to
really
accept
just
that?
pushed it over.
Why would you want to accept that, though?
I didn't want to accept it, but I had to in order to continue to watch the show.
I get that, Jamie.
Or just completely forget about the show like I did. And
then it gets canceled and never do another one ever again.
Thank God.
They already
at least
approved
the way y'all
season,
speaking right now.
Yeah, they already approved. They literally approved the second season right as the first season was coming out.
Because people are hate watching as well.
Yeah,
so,
that's me.
So you know, hey.
It's like the things that they do right, I feel like they do really well, but like the things that are being done badly, it's hurting my soul. And I'm not even that deep into Halo. I'm not even that deep.
I'll do this for Halo, so it doesn't sound like it's all hate. If they took away all the expansion of Master Chief, this show would be fucking perfect. I would have no other noticeable.
So you want him to be just militant and just
who
like no
who he is.
Talking,
so,
nothing,
he is.
no personality.
He's more than that. Like I'm playing, I just started playing Halo 5 a couple days ago actually with a friend. And there's like a lot of like back and forth between Master Chief and the Silver Team. And
I remember the sassiness he had in the game. At least that's what I remember.
Yeah, like he does have a personality to him. It's not just like, yes, sir, yes, ma'am, blah, blah, blah. Let me go do this. But this is like it's
like, did you notice, Trevon? I never talk about him wanting to save the girl in the beginning, because that's very much what Master Chief would do, right? That's very much what Master Chief would do. But the whole emotions is what's like he's too emotional, right? Like that was the whole thing of ripping out the little piece so he can be intact with his emotion. This is just too much. This would be like if Batman was doing shit like this, like pouring his heart out, and it's just what, huh? Whose Batman is that? Not mine. So that's what I'm saying. If I didn't have all this emotion, this show would be fucking flawless, in my opinion. Kind of bring it back a little bit. God damn. And I also don't need to see his ass as much. Like
two times.
Two times too many. Let me ask you this: how many times do you see Tony Stark's ass?
I mean,
none, right?
He was having sex.
There you go.
This was Disney. Like, let's not like if it wasn't.
I don't need
Disney.
to see ass. Goodness, great. You know what, Trevon? I'm gonna make sure you see Mario ass when that animated movie comes out. See if you.
We might see Thor's ass. How about that? We might see that.
Oh my god. Okay.
I mean, that's fine with me.
Time out. Hold on, AJ. Trevon didn't even realize what he said. Me and AJ are okay with that because we're getting a whole nother Thor. So you didn't specify who you meant.
That's fine.
That's
fine. That's not. No. When I say Thor, I'm talking about Chris Hemsworth.
We don't know that. That's not what the movie says. The movie said Thor could be two.
I don't know one Thor right now.
I thought about it as I was walking. So. Did we talk about the fact that Cortana was watching while they were like doing? Yes.
I said she a freak when I was watching it.
She is a freak. I'm like, what's wrong with her?
I was like, okay, Cortana. She was probably putting it in her memory bank, like, okay, shit. That's what made her save John.
Minus all the levels. She knew all of it. She was like,
I'm telling you right now.
I was like, oh.
I'm telling you right now, that's what made her save Master Chief at the end of the episode. She said, you can't let that go to waste. Hell no. Hey, hold up. They ain't about to get rid of that. Come here.
I thought she was going to take over his body and like just start fighting. That's what I thought was going to happen. I thought that's what she was going to do.
Oh, no.
Because apparently she can. She won't do it.
Yeah.
Because they keep saying she can. I was like, oh, so she can just take it over completely. Right. And he don't know that.
It was funny when Halsey's assistant's like, damn it, I knew she would do this. I knew she would do I told you. I really want, like, if anything, like, can the season finale, can we kill him? He's weird. He's weird.
Why don't they have a failsafe to stop her to like y'all didn't think?
Because she's smarter than everybody else.
No, I'm saying they didn't build it in no kind of way to still control her. Like, you really get her free reign over the strongest one. Are you serious? Like, I thought it was so stupid. I was like, okay.
All right. So we can move on.
Got some iRobot in this shit. She take over.
That's all the show is missing is Will Smith. That's it. But I will say, you guys don't have to wait any longer. I know you guys are wondering, did I watch the worst fucking thing to ever exist in humanity? I did.
They already talked about Halo.
That is to you.
I did. I watched the first High School Musical, and I can tell you with
we're all in this together.
All the confidence in the world, right? Okay. I will not be watching the other fucking.
You said you were gonna watch them.
No, look. Let me be very clear when I say this. I will risk our friendship because I'm not watching those other two fucking.
You know what that tweet said, right?
Wait, explain yourself though. Explain yourself.
No,
Just break down what you didn't like about the first one.
I'm gonna break down everything. Right?
Thank you.
So it started. I want to break it down specifically. So it started when I pressed play. Okay, and then it didn't stop until the end credits came on, and then Disney had the fucking nerve to say, since you watched the first one, would you like to start the second one? I almost canceled my Disney
and
Plus
then eventually when you finish, they will offer you the show afterwards. Yes.
No,
thank
you. No,
oh my god. I can't recommend the show now. I can't recommend
I don't watch the show. I haven't watched the show.
I watched the first season. That was rough.
That movie was so bad, I had to immediately go watch Mean Girls to get a proper perspective of high school. Like,
wait,
get out of this.
Hold up a second. You can't compare High School Musical, it's a Disney film, to Mean Girls, which is written by Tina Fey, an adult comedian. Like, you can't compare the two because they're not on an even playing field.
Right. I wish I couldn't compare it. Like, I wish one didn't exist, so this conversation wouldn't.
You have to appreciate High School Musical for what it is, for who it was aimed at.
Nothing about it. Nothing about it.
Wait. So you don't
I don't like that acceptance shit. If it's not good, it's not good. You don't have to accept it.
Hey,
good.
Okay, looking at how popular it was, I would say a lot of people thought it was good. So
I thought it was good.
I
watched it many times. Many times.
Props to you guys. Props to you guys.
So, do you not like Grease? Do y'all not like Grease with John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John?
Oh my god.
Okay, whatever.
Goodness.
Masterpiece.
So, do you not like musicals? Is that what it is?
Yes. I've only said this.
But he said he likes Hamilton. They don't even stop rapping in that.
But it's rap, and the rap is fire.
Not the whole time.
It's
they are not rapping the whole time.
And that's real talent. And that's
you haven't told. Okay, so you said it was bad.
Juwaan,
you said it was bad. Okay, like break down for me, like what was bad about it? Just let's start with the first.
Okay, so we'll start. My first issue is how fucking cringy they were when they were just like, okay,
you know when that movie came out,
they just finished performing. Who can perform now? Oh, the two people that just so happened to fucking walk in the room, right? Like, not even like
the audience is supposed to be.
Right,
man,
that was 2005.
On,
it was like what, 2005?
No, hell no.
See, he's not in context. No. You have to remember the time. No. You have to remember the network. I mean, come on.
Hell no.
Look,
look I've watched silent movies.
This is what I'm hearing right now. This is what I'm hearing now. Excuses. Oh, it was made in 2000, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Oh, you just gotta accept for what it is. If it's a bad movie, it's a bad movie.
It's not a bad movie, though.
It's not a bad movie.
It was bad. You know what? You're right. AJ, hold on. Tristan and Jamie are correct. It was not bad. It was the worst fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. Like, I literally was hate watching that shit after a certain point. Like, I'm only watching it because I have to, right? Like, at no point did I feel like, well, it's not that bad. I'm just like, the dialogue was cringy. If I had to say one positive thing, Ashley Tisdale being that kind of character is like tailor-made. Like, she's really awesome in that role.
She's good at Sharpay.
I love that whole cafeteria scene of her, right? But everything else was just like unfucking bearable. I swear to God, I'm glad. I'll tell you this. I am glad I never saw it because I would have never accepted fucking Zac Efron as an actor in any fucking.
Really?
If I saw that first before seeing where his career is going to now, hell no. Oh my God. I would have said, you can't act. What the fuck is this? What is this? Vanessa, don't even get me started on that. Like, what? It was so cringe.
To be fair, it's nice to see Zach grow as an actor, though.
Thank God. Like, goodness gracious, that shit was horrible. It was literally like they were like, hey, let's pay more attention to the singing and not to the actually acting well, right? Like, just sing some.
I
shit.
mean,
They'll get over it.
It was a musical on Disney Channel,
like in the mid 2000s.
I mean, Juwaan has
hold
been
on,
saying he's
time
not a fan of
out.
musical for years, so to expect y'all to think that he will like it.
He's the
because
one that
it's
like brought up the
makes
thing.
no sense.
I brought up what
Yeah,
thing?
he did actually.
I brought up what thing?
You brought up
it
High School Musical.
Yeah.
When?
During the last stream, whatever the last
No,
stream.
Yeah,
Sabrina
you were talking
brought
about
up High School
And then
Musical.
you tweeted it.
I did.
We
No.
didn't-
Yeah,
Who
you did.
told you
I
to
don't know
tweet it?
why you
Hold
did
on.
that.
Told you to
Time
tweet
out.
it.
All he said was watch Scott
Time
Pilgrim,
out.
and then you was
Yeah.
I don't know.
No. This is exactly how that conversation went. You said, I feel as though Juwaan needs to watch Scott Pilgrim if I had to watch Clone Wars. And I said, okay, cool. And then Sabrina said, no, let's throw High School Musical in there. He needs to watch that also. And then that's when I ended the show by saying, that will never fucking happen. And then I thought, because who gives a shit about Juwaan? Let me tweet out this funny tweet that literally no one will give a shit about. That shit's still going. It's still going.
Oh, do you understand? Look, let me tell you. Look. Now, see, now that you've done it, I can tell you what really happened with that tweet. I sent that shit out. I said, hey, retweet this for me. I sent that shit to people. I was like, I DM'd it to people. I said, retweet this shit. Just do it for me. Like, retweet and like it. Just wait a little while. You gotta do it.
Trevon went on a whole campaign.
I'm doing that shit so silent.
Let me see where this shit is.
I said, he watching that damn movie.
At least it's not worse than mine. Okay, at least it's not worse than mine.
Yours, I still don't believe. I woke up, saw that shit.
That shit is still going.
Yeah, that was wild.
He
that
pissed
was
everybody off with them.
Yeah, I didn't think
still
people were
going
that
because I had to
passionate.
mute it.
Wait, what
Bruh,
did you say? What did
I
you
had
say?
people
About the Wong transition.
Yeah.
I had
on your
people-
neck. They was on your neck.
They really was.
Bruh, I had people I have never seen or heard from before, like, yo, is this your boy? And I'm like, what the fuck did AJ do? And I was like, oh shit.
It wasn't that bad. Well,
No, it wasn't. I said, oh shit, to the amount of responses to it. Like, oh my god, what did he say? And then I saw it and I was just like, oh, they're just butthurt. Whatever. They're just butthurt. But goddamn.
Yeah.
This is what I live for. I need to start making tweets like that a lot more.
I need to never make a tweet like the one I made ever again. God damn.
Yeah, you set yourself up for that one.
you really did.
did.
Bro,
Really
even
did.
my mom called me and said, you know you're gonna watch that shit, right?
Oh.
My god.
I looked at it, I said 55. Oh.
Bro,
Let's go to work.
listen to this. I said
Your standard
50
may be higher.
I said 50 likes, 55 retweets.
Oh.
This shit is sitting at 84 likes, 7 tweets,
Yes.
60 retweets.
Mhm.
Y'all are assholes, bro. And my comments is like 1 million in here. Like, goddamn. People I didn't even know of was like, yo, you watched it, right?
One of my friends was like, I did on one of my friends was like, I did on both my accounts. I said, thank you. Thank you very much.
Hey, let's go.
Y'all
That's
are
great.
Listen,
worst.
Juwaan, you haven't even seen High School Musical 2 though. High School Musical 2 is good. I liked it better than the first one. It's got
Not
better
risking
music,
it.
at least.
You know what?
in my
You know
opinion.
I've
what
seen
you
all
did
three,
then?
Juwaan. You do not need to watch it.
No, you know what you should have did then? You should have told me to start with 2. Because then if 2 was so good,
How you gonna start with
Start with
2?
the-
What?
You gotta meet
Hey,
the characters first.
hey,
Right.
hey, your
Yeah.
alternative was me
Start
watching
with 2.
none. Your alternative was me starting with 0. Okay? I was gonna watch none. I was just gonna look up the synopsis.
Just do it. Just watch
blah, blah,
it.
blah, blah, blah.
Just watch number
No,
2.
If I did that for the
No,
Clone
let's do
Wars,
it.
I would be disowned. I would be disowned.
Jamie, you wouldn't have been able to do it. It's 7 seasons. You're just gonna synopsis the 7 seasons?
Hey, listen, I'll sit down and read it.
There are really good recaps online. Of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I've done it for movies.
Oh my god. So did y'all have any questions y'all wanted to ask me to verify that I watched this fucking shit show? Or
No,
we could
it's
move
all right.
Nah.
No, we just.
What was your favorite moment? What was your favorite moment?
If I had to pick a favorite moment, it was when he gave her the confidence again to start singing and his dad walked in the gym and his dad was just like, oh, this motherfucker can sing. All right, cool. Yeah, I was like, all right, that's pretty okay. I might have teared up if I had emotions. Like, that was pretty cool.
If I had emotions.
Yeah, I was like, all right, that's pretty cool. I enjoyed that. Would you like to know my worst moment?
Yes.
Everything else. All right. So I want to pass it to Tristian. Tristian, you have you brought a topic to my attention for this week that you were very passionate about.
Wait,
You know what I'm talking about?
Okay, yeah.
Okay,
so
go ahead. I want to pass.
All right. So I don't know how familiar you guys are with like Percy Jackson, like the books and the movies and all that stuff. But they're like Disney Plus is making a show, and they cast a Black girl in the role of Annabeth Chase. So that character is written in the books as white. Like in the book, the sequel, she's usually a Caucasian girl.
The same old shit.
So people are mad. They're doing what they did when Halle Bailey was cast as Ariel. They're doing what they did when I forget the actress's name, but she was cast as Starfire, which was crazy because Starfire is orange. So like they got mad about a Black actress.
And she was created to be the attention of an African.
Okay, she was Black coded. Okay, I read that somewhere. So there, the people are pissed off. So Rick Riordan actually, so this was announced, I want to say it was announced last week. So this week, Rick Riordan, the author who's also working on the adaptation, he actually like wrote a letter on his website, which is basically like, you motherfuckers are being racist. Like you're sitting back not even giving her.
That's cool, Rick.
And like he said, he was like, because he had a point, people are always talking about, don't make it about race, just cast the best actor or actress. He was like, in this case, this little Black girl Leah was the best choice. Yeah, so the same people complaining about her being Black are the same people who preach cast the best actor or actress. And he's like, that's what we did, and y'all are upset about it. And it's just crazy. What really upsets me, and like this will sound weird, like so the cast. So Annabeth was cast by she's being played by a Black girl. The character of Grover, he's usually portrayed as white. He's a satyr, so he's a magical creature. But he usually looks white. They cast an Indian boy to play Grover. He's not getting, people are upset about that, but he's not getting nearly as much backlash.
Because Grover was Black.
Grover is Black in the movies.
In the movies, so.
Well, so the books,
in the books, he's portrayed it like in the books and in the graphic novels based on the books, he's usually white.
I didn't know that.
So
I know. I guess I wonder what people are coming from. Are they coming from the movies or are they coming from the books? Because I know nothing about the books. I'm saying for me, I know nothing about the books.
Because the movies aren't good adaptations of the books. They're good on their own, like it's their own thing, but they're not good at adaptation of the books. So people are upset.
No, I was just gonna say the biggest problem that society, white people, but society usually goes through is they don't understand that race swapping or gender swapping, right, is never a problem unless it changes the DNA. And what I mean by DNA, I mean like the like what makes the character who they are, right? So unless it changes what makes the character who they are, like Trevon, if they told you they were rebooting Harry Potter and he was Black, nothing about fucking Harry Potter says he has to be white. Nothing, right? Like the only thing unique about him is what? He's British.
I mean,
you telling me you can't find somebody Black that can do that shit?
I mean, there was a backlash for Hermione was cast as Black in the play.
Yes,
I remember, and they were pissed off about that, and I was like.
So what people don't understand is like they'll go, okay, well, what if I made Kamala Khan white? And it's like, well, the uniqueness about her is that she is Indian, right? So... Like it's different. You know what I'm saying? Like, what if just I made Miles white? Right? Like they're like, well, why can't I do White Panther? Well, the whole thing is you're gonna tell me a white man is ruling Africa? You think that's gonna pass? You think that makes sense, right? So to me, that is the difference. That drastically changes the makeup of the character, right?
It's
go ahead, Trevon.
It's not even it's just that they've had all the white characters. They've had
and that's my thing.
All white.
They have all the characters.
Go. Yeah. Let us have this, and y'all just shut the fuck up and go watch the shit y'all want to watch. Like I just get sick of it.
But think about it. Here's where the problem lies. Here's where the problem lies. When you talk the greatest TV shows, when you talk the greatest TV shows of all time, the greatest movies of all time, how many of them have Black leads, right? Like when someone goes, yo, what's one of the greatest shows of all time? Oh, Game of Thrones. Did we feel represented in that shit? What's one of the greatest movies of all time? Godfather. Did we feel represented in that shit? Titanic. Did we feel represented in that shit? So it's like, bro, your whole history is you. Like you telling me,
and we don't even complain for that shit.
Is like,
we say those like, movies. What? We're like, yeah, we love those movies. Like we're not even.
Bro, Godfather is my favorite movie of all time, and I've seen it 1,000,000 times and could not tell you one Black face I saw in that shit. I'm not saying there isn't one in it.
Imagine if we did.
I can't remember
those
that
movies.
Shit.
Like there's somebody Black in it. Fuck that movie. Like imagine we just dismissed all those movies. Like fuck that shit. I don't care about that shit. Like how would y'all feel there? That movie's not the best movie because nobody black in it. How would y'all feel? Start saying that dumb shit.
Yeah, let's take that shit down. Yeah.
I just thought of something. Do y'all remember when I don't know if y'all were into the Hunger Games? Do y'all remember that controversy when people realized that Rue was black, even though it was explicitly stated in the book that she was black? Y'all remember when the actress was cast and people were acting up and people were like, "Oh yeah, I feel less sad about her dying now because now that I realize that she's black." It's just crazy because it makes me think. It makes me think.
She literally came from the black district.
Yeah.
The only district where there were black people.
I saw a tweet.
They're very visibly black. I don't know.
Right. I saw a tweet though a couple weeks ago. I saw a tweet a couple weeks ago that was saying how, like, for people of color, because most media was, had primarily white characters, we grew up like having to learn how to relate to white characters. But white people never have to learn to relate to us or see us as human or see the spectrum.
Look, we're not going to go political here, but they're even trying to take away from teaching children about actual history because they don't want to make white children feel as though
uncomfortable.
Yeah, that they're responsible. And it's like, bro, if they don't know it, they're doomed to continuously repeat it. So it's like, give them the tools.
To learn about slavery though.
Right, and here's the crazy thing, right? Here's the crazy thing. Here's the problem I always had, Trevon, right? Like, it seems like almost every award season, there's some kind of slave movie, right? But they stopped making Holocaust movies, what feels like generations ago. Like, they'll do it sporadically, but it feels like every big actor has had some kind of slave role, right? Or movie or something that they come from. And it's like, bro, like, I shouldn't have to trace Lupita back, and it's like, yo, like, oh, Black Panther. 20 years a slave. What the fuck? What? Like, oh, like this person. Wait, what?
Or movies like The Help, not even necessarily slavery, but like movies like The Help, where black people are the maids, or in some way subservient.
Right. So to me, I just look at it, and I feel strongly about this. I won't speak for a whole race, but I feel strongly when a race swap happens and you shit talk it, it is racism. I'm sorry. I can't see it as anything else, right? Because unless it drastically changes the character, what are we talking about here? You're ultimately just saying your problem is that they're not white. Not that they're not accurate, because nothing about their personality or anything changes, right? So it's like, to me, when they made Wally black, nothing about Wally changed. Ignore the CW. But outside of that, nothing about Wally changed.
Ignore the CW.
It was still
Wally. No. We're going to appreciate that. Okay.
We will not.
I will. I appreciate Keenan. Don't do that. I appreciate it.
So I was going to say.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say, so that happened with Annabeth, but the same. And this was all last week. Like, so that happened with Percy Jackson, the Percy Jackson series. And then I don't know if you guys are fans of Doctor Who, but there's an actor, and I'm blanking on his name, but he's on a British show called Sex Education, which is on Netflix. Yeah. He was just cast as the first African-American doctor. And the doctor is like an alien. And so for like 12 years, or for the first 12 seasons, he was like, he was always white. Then in the most recent incarnation, they made him a white female. So of course, people were pissed off about him being female, about that character being female. And now the next incarnation is going to be a black man. So it all happened last week. So, people have been, I just hope racism has just been crazy.
Yeah. And I want to speak to something that we have in our comment section here from Nerdo Boy. I'm indifferent on race swapping. Like for comics, I usually wouldn't care depending on the characters, but if they change the race of people that actually existed, then yeah, I have an issue with that. To me,
what does that mean?
So I'm going to say what I think, and Nerdo Boy, correct me if I'm wrong. I think he's saying, like, if you want to do a movie about George Washington, right? And then you just so happen to make George Washington black. That's what he's alluding to what his problem is. But to me, I hearken it back to it just can't take away from, like, you can't do a movie about the struggle of the 60s, right? And take a prominent black figure and just make him white. It now changes the entire narrative, right? Because it's like, well, white people weren't segregating from other white people. So it's like, that would make no sense whatsoever. But if I wanted to do something cool and inventive and make George Washington black, I could have some fun with that, right? Because to me, it's like, okay, he had slaves. We know that for a fact. We know the whole crazy ass racial history of George Washington. So I'm like, you could do that in a better way to tear that character down even more, right? But again, I wouldn't suggest for someone to do that. It's a territory you just don't need to fucking touch. He's a piece of shit on his own. We don't really need to make anything any better or worse or whatever. But for me, when it comes to strictly comics, it has to drastically change the character for me to ever have a problem. And I do not feel that Superman couldn't be black. Batman couldn't be black. Wonder Woman couldn't be black. Martian Manhunter couldn't be black. All these characters could be black because nothing about their actual personal lives states that they have to be a specific race, right? Like you look at Batman and everyone's like, oh, it's a billionaire. Are you saying there's no black billionaires?
There's a lot of black billionaires out there.
Like, what about Batman's story is something that a black kid couldn't look up to and go, I'd never see that. Like, why? Why can't we change that narrative? So for me, it has to change the character completely for me to ever even remotely take an issue to it. I mean, shit, for forever, growing up, I thought Samus. Am I saying it right? Samus?
Mm-hmm.
Samus? Mm-hmm. I didn't know what the fuck Samus was. And then when Brie Larson came out and was like, I want to be Samus, I was just like, huh? And everyone was like, well, yeah, that's Samus. And I was just like, well, I didn't know. Well, great, sure.
I didn't know
so I'm like, but it's also a character that wears a fucking mask all the time. So it's like, well, anyone could really be it, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So to me, it just has to be new, innovative, makes sense. And again, it has to not drastically alter. Like you can't make Luke Cage white. A character that was created in the 80s in the heart of Harlem. Again, you want to sell me the narrative of a white man that is the hero of Harlem in the 80s? Okay, that's drastically changing things. That makes no sense.
I mean,
so to me, that's where my issue is.
We're just talking about Master Chief. I mean, he could have been like black or white. It didn't matter what he was. So, I mean, that's a character where you could just change it. It wouldn't matter.
100%.
I don't know.
100%.
People
just don't change the DNA of the character. That's
that's it.
Simple as that.
And Rick Riordan said Leah, the young black lady who's going to be playing the character, he feels like she's going to be able to embody the character. So it's like, and it's funny, like somebody actually pointed out, people have been posting like excerpts from the book, and there was this one scene where I want to say in the second book in the series, The Sea of Monsters, somebody insults Annabeth's hair, and she gets sensitive about it. And somebody was like, now imagine how, I don't know if I want to say how powerful that would be, or just how, there's a lot said about Black women's hair and policing it. And, if it's not straight and, then it's not professional. So like for them to comment on that in a children's show, a character insulting a little Black girl's hair and having her react to that, again, that's reflecting real life, even though they're demigods fighting monsters, just like you want to see that. And so some people were complaining about the fact that, Annabeth, she defies like the dumb blonde stereotype. I was like, you know what? I understand that, but I think it would be even more groundbreaking to show a young Black girl, because she's a daughter of Athena. So her whole thing is she's smart, she's strategic. So I was like, I think that's more groundbreaking, showing little Black girls they can be smart and strategic and leaders, and plan out battles and lead their friends into battle. So I don't know. I feel like this is gonna work out, but people have to get past the whole race thing.
Yeah. And look, everyone says this all the time. Negative people are usually the loudest, so it seems like it's the entire world. But it's just a small group of people trapped in their mom's basements that, don't really come out for fresh air. So, once you quiet them down, it's fine. It's completely fine out there. No one really cares. It's not that deep. It really isn't. You either watch it or you don't. It's really not that deep. It has
especially
nothing to do
for
with
like people who are actually fans of the books. Like, I don't think they would have an issue with it.
Right. So I'm glad that was something you brought up, Tristan, because that is something I'm always very passionate about, because I do have brothers and sisters who are younger than me, and things like Black Panther is important, right? Things like Shuri is important. Things like getting a Black Ariel is important. Just so they just look at more people that look like them and are like, yeah, there's literally nothing that I can't do in this world, rather than like, well, I gotta play basketball, gotta rap, gotta be a hairstylist. Like, no, you don't have to do all those stereotypical shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Go be a stockbroker, whatever the fuck you want to do. So again, for people that have lived in a world that has looked like them for forever, they look at it and they're just like, I don't understand what the issue is. Well, the issue is my little brother is looking at you and thinking like that's unattainable. Like no one that looks like me does that. I got to get him out of that. And the best way to get him out of that is to see more shit to where he's like, well, everyone around the world that does these things look like me. I can do it too.
That's why I'm starting to like that more critics are becoming African American women and Hispanic and stuff like that, like Leo, Dom. We getting people like them that's rising above that stereotypical element and doing something different. And I feel like that's something that we need more of too. So it's definitely a good start right now, but we can do better.
100% we can do better. We've had this conversation. We need to bring it to award shows. We need to get younger and more diverse. When that happens, we'll see awards shake up, right? To where it goes to whatever legit was the best movie, not what was the best movie for a demographic or whatever was the best pop. Like I said, me and Trevon were talking about this, right? To where we were saying like watching Doctor Strange and seeing America Chavez just have a little small pride thing and just showing really quickly her two moms. That's not enough. Then you look at Eternals and you're like, we had the kiss. That's not enough. Why? Because the very next scene you gave us was a straight couple having sex. And it's like, well, if you were going to be edgy, why not take the gay couple and put them in that situation? Really get edgy to where it can start to become normal. So we don't have to get quotes of brand new movie comes out where a gay couple has sex. And it's like, well, that happens. That's not like, they're not aliens. Like, what the fuck? Like, normalize it. So the only way to normalize it is just to show it more. So society isn't just like, oh, what? They're just like, yeah, duh, it happens, you know?
I guess I mean, from all these things I've seen, like when they do little things like this, it's a lot of quick scenes that they can easily cut out. Just like Fantastic Beasts, the third one. Although much I love that movie, that scene was definitely easy for them. Like they needed to easily cut out. And I was like, you guys, like, I get what you're doing. Like, I get y'all trying to give me a little bit, but it's like, you did this so you can easily, like, that scene with her mom, they could easily just, that doesn't need to happen. They could just do that straight and move on. Like, they could easily just, I want something that's, like, ingrained into the movie. Like, it's not so easy.
Like, it doesn't feel performative.
Yeah.
Right. And that was my problem with Captain Marvel. That felt very performative with the narrative they were trying to get out. And I'm like, there's such a better way to get that narrative across without just like stomping on the throat of the message. And it was just repeated. And it was just like, at a certain point, I started to feel shitty as a male. Like, God damn, are we this bad? Like, shit. Like, even when they showed the power level of Nick Fury, they were just
wrong,
like, he's in. No. But here's the thing, though, Trevon. Here's the thing. Showcasing how much it happens, I get. Making it kind of seem like it is the only males she comes in contact with was just like, it won't one good motherfucker out of the crop that she met.
I mean, like, Fury.
Goddamn.
Yeah, Fury.
But there was a bridge to build that relationship with Fury for that to cultivate. Well, Coulson was kind of like more so off to the side, but it kind of felt like the guy she entrusted the most, shitty. The whole code, shitty.
Yeah.
The scroll, shitty. And it was just like, well, goddamn.
That's kind of why, like, I didn't like the way they ended Falcon and the Winter Soldier. It's just because, like, the whole show, I feel like they were making like nods and saying like, hey, you know, they were trying to create a little bit of dialogue by saying, you know, like, it should be normal for a Black man to be Captain America. And at the very end of the show, like, he had to do this whole speech talking about like why it should be okay for him, whatever. And like at this point, it almost seems like we're doing this thing, and here's our justification for it that makes it okay. I'm like, there shouldn't have to be any kind of justification for it. Like, it is okay. So just like do it and not have to put out this like pseudo apologies saying like why we're doing it. Like, just do it.
Yeah. I guess the problem with that, I mean, yes, he shouldn't have to do the speech, but They kept throwing around how the shield is his. He can do what they want with the shield. So they might try to kind of take it from like it's different. He's dealing with the government.
Yeah.
The government is inherently racist. Let's be honest.
Well,
Yeah.
So it's like,
I mean, I'm not saying he was wrong, but just like the where it was placed in the show, it felt very like we're doing this because of this, and it's okay.
Well, that's where my pushback comes from. That's where my pushback comes from, though. That's where my pushback comes from, though, Trevon. Because to me, I thought what would have been more powerful is if it was unapologetic, right? I'm Captain America. Shut the fuck up and get the fuck out of my way, right? To me, when you have to explain it, you're trying to get somebody to understand something that if they don't understand by 80 years old, living in 2022, 2021, they will never understand. The people that get it, they get it. That's all you have to appease, right? To me, when you're trying to, I feel like when you're trying to educate someone at that point, it's just like, bro, we live in a society where it's just like, they're the minority. You shouldn't have to explain this shit in today's world. It should be unapologetic. And I kind of felt like that whole conversation was trying to explain why it should be okay. That's like, if you're in the 60s, sure. 80s, sure. 2021.
I get what you're saying, but you know where we live in. Like, come on, that's not realistic. What you
then you don't appease them. You don't appease them.
But that's when they come after him.
The line I appreciated that he said was when the kid said, "Oh, it's Black Falcon," and he's like, "Well, what's your name?" I'm paraphrasing. "Oh, Jake." You're not Black Jake. You're just Jake, right? To me, that right there was a perfect line that should have carried its way throughout the entire series. Kid. No, but I'm saying it's a narrative that just works on people that get it. People that don't get it don't want to get it. We live in a time where this kind of information is easily accessible.
Like, I feel like
the president was Black, so what? Yeah. I put wings and in a fucking shield
every day.
No, but I'm saying I put wings. I put wings in a fucking shield on this guy
every time he was out in
that's
public.
Something
I
gotta sell.
Get in the car.
No, but I'm saying to me, if a president was Black, all I did was put wings and a shield on this guy, and you're telling me it takes more convincing for that than the fact that we had a president for 8 years that was Black. No, at this point, unapologetic. You're Captain America. Move on, get on. Move on, get on. Don't explain shit. They don't get it because they don't want to. It's as simple as he's Black now. The fuck do I gotta explain? Like, you give somebody a cheeseburger and they go, "What is this?" The fucking cheeseburger. What do I have to eat the shit? Like, eat it or don't. We move on.
I would love that. Yeah.
I'm just saying, I get what you're saying. It's not the world we live in, but what I'm saying is if you want it to be the world you live in, you got to start shoving that shit. And the best way to shove it is to say, this is what it is. And then we're moving on.
And then they show up to the boat. I'm saying then the cops and everybody else, government showing up to the boat.
Oh,
I'm just saying, like that's just how I,
back on
you
boat.
know,
I'm like, what the hell?
Like, if it's just like, this is my shield. Fuck y'all. Like, can you imagine? Like,
I mean, they're doing that regardless, though.
I'm saying, I just want to see how it's gonna go. I just want to see, like,
because let me ask you this.
I hope he doesn't deal with it again in his movie. Hopefully not, but I feel like he's still gonna be fighting that.
Let me ask you this: do you believe that the people that hated Sam becoming Captain America hated any less after that speech?
I mean, no, I guess not. But
so then, what are we doing here? I'm just wasting breath at this point. What are we doing here? Doesn't change anything. Doesn't change anything. The people that saw it and said, "Okay, Cap gave it to him. Let's move on." They understood it. They get it, right? I watch Kamala Khan. I don't have to go, "Indian girl, explain this to me." No, I get it.
I mean, we don't know. I mean, yeah, you get it, but what if she tries to explain herself in the show?
That to me is a fail. That to me, is a step back, not a step forward. It's a step back.
I think, I don't know. I kind of see what Trevon is saying. I don't completely agree, but I think like for the instance with like Kamala Khan, like I think explaining it to where like, you know, not everybody is like of her faith. So like explaining like, oh, you know, like this is something that I do, or this is like a tradition that I have. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like that, I'm learning about the culture at that point. But saying like, I don't know, I guess like justifying it as like, I'm doing this and I should be able to do this because like America's like a melting pot full of people. Then that's what I'm like you didn't It shouldn't have to be said.
You shouldn't have to explain that.
It shouldn't have to be said.
Well, I will argue. I actually won't argue it, but I would say that I would say that in this day and age, we live in the era of ignorance. Yeah. People choose not to learn. People choose to just ignore things that are facts.
Right.
And what you guys are speaking towards is exactly that. We get an explanation from Sam, Captain America. A lot of people aren't going to accept it.
Right.
It is what it is.
Right. So that's why I say you got to start making things for the people who get it. The people who don't, get them out of the way. Simple as that. They're going to hate regardless. Hate is in here, not in here. It's in here, right? So hearing that message doesn't clear this. It clears this, but not what's in here. So to me, don't waste your fucking time. Move on. All right, like when I told you guys I don't like fucking musicals, what did you think was going to be my response coming out of that shit? I still don't fucking like musicals.
Change your life?
No, because the hate for musicals isn't in here. It's in here. It's deep rooted. I really hate musicals. If it was just in here where I was like, oh, I saw one musical I didn't like, right, but never saw another one and then watched that, maybe I would have been more open. But that shit's deep.
You like Lion King, Juwaan?
Huh?
You like Lion King?
Yeah. Wait, the play?
No,
I've never seen the play.
Animated movie.
The live action slash and well, not live action, but
I'm just talking the animated
John
movie.
Favreau,
This doesn't make it all complicated. The animated movie.
Yeah.
The animated movie?
Yeah.
Is you consider that a musical?
It is a musical.
I guess if you consider it a musical, then that's the only musicals I like.
Have you seen The Greatest Showman?
No.
You should watch that. I really like that.
Trevon,
I haven't seen that either. Actually,
you've lost the ability
like
to suggest shit to me. You've all lost that.
I never suggested.
I gave you, John. I gave you a little warning.
Hold on.
Do not watch these movies.
You are not about to put that on me. I did not suggest High School Musical to you. I just went along with it.
Yeah, so you lost that ability. Yeah, you grabbed.
I didn't suggest it.
So you're with him. You grabbed a pitchfork. You grabbed a pitchfork.
They're like rapping, singing, and Greatest Showman.
Also, you just suggested High School Musical too, so.
Yeah, so you lost that ability.
I said, just keep going.
No. I want to get into something that has been bugging me in the MCU for a long time, and I want to pass it to Tristian first, because I feel like Tristian understands me when I ask this question. So the showrunner for Miss Marvel was speaking about like what makes Miss Marvel a fan of Captain Marvel, and they were alluding to like, oh, well, when you see that Captain Marvel gave Thanos the business, how doesn't it motivate you to want to be a superhero, right? And then as soon as I finished reading that and I got to the period, I said to myself, this is like the 5th fucking time someone that wasn't an Endgame has alluded to the fact that some shit happened in Endgame, right? And I'm like, now you're not talking about government. Now you're talking about just an average little girl knows about that shit. And I'm like, how do people fucking know?
They video recorded it, Juwaan. Come on now.
The sound recorded it.
Apparently.
You know, Iron Man, he's got the tech to record things.
I mean,
apparently, look, you know what probably happened?
He does have him up there.
When Wong opened up one of the portals, somebody from Karmatage said, I am not fighting, but I'll record the shit.
For sure. On World Star.
You know that they opened another portal, went like 80 miles back and could see it from a distance. I'll record this shit. I ain't fighting though. But no, Tristian, so I want to ask you, does that like bother you? Is that like, whatever, who cares, moving on? Or does that bother you that it keeps becoming a narrative that people know what happened, like specific details, not just that a fight happened? Oh, Captain Marvel was giving him the business. How the fuck do you know that? Like, how do you know that? Does that bother you at all?
You know what that does? That's a very good point. Like, I remember after Endgame came out, like, what was the next one? It was like Spider-Man, right? Far From Home.
No Way
Home.
And
so like,
No Way Home.
Or No Way Home. No Way Home. So like them knowing that Tony Stark and Natasha died, I was like, okay, cool. Like that makes sense that would be announced. But yeah, like them knowing specific details about the battle, and, who whooped whose ass, like that is kind of weird. But at the same time, I guess, I mean, we don't know how. I don't want to say we don't know how information is delivered in that world, but I guess we have to keep in mind that like that snap happened. half the population disappeared for 5 years. So I guess they do owe them like, you know, answers and details about the battle. I don't know. I want to kind of defend it, but at the same time, it is kind of irritating. It's like, wow, they really went in, like, where are you getting this from?
Like when they said it in WandaVision, I gave him a pass because somebody like Clint, right? Clint or Ant-Man, you believe, or Clint more specifically, you believe had to be debriefed, right? You believe anybody that was under any kind of government ruling needed to be debriefed. So I'm like, I can imagine Clint told the government knows, and that's how that was a conversation, right? Because WandaVision, that was a conversation amongst government. So I'm like, okay, I can buy that. But when you tell me a little girl in New Jersey has very specific details, like if the showrunner said, yeah, she heard that Captain Marvel was part of that big battle, and then she saw like, you know, photos or whatever of Captain Marvel, and it like cool, no problem. But to say that she knows that Captain Marvel gave Thanos the beats, I'm like, who the fuck told her? Like, who's telling people this?
Maybe
like,
it was something like, she just like, they put it out there that Captain Marvel was instrumental in defeating Thanos, and you know, and of course Kamala Khan is a huge Captain Marvel fan, so of course she's gonna like take that and kind of run with it, you know, kind of embellish it. I can see her hearing something like Captain Marvel was instrumental in defeating Thanos.
Right, which would be fine. Right, which would be fine. But so as I pass this to you, Jamie, I'm assuming that the most reasonable answer, Tristan, is that there's just a Marvel world star, right? And it's like it could
I can see that
digitally follow each major battle to where you just hear world star scream out, right? Like, you know what? They might have screamed it, but because Cap was screaming Avengers Assemble, it got lost.
He whispered
somebody
that,
in the back. They started screaming. I'm sorry. Once he yelled it and they started running. Somebody in the back might have said World Star and just stood there and started recording. But Jamie, like, how do you look at that? Does that bother you at all? Or are you like, it's whatever. It's whatever.
It doesn't really bother me, to be honest. I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. I think information gets around like pretty quickly, and especially like, I don't know. I think some of the Avengers, specifically Thor, he probably has a big mouth, and then just like it kind of spreads from there. And maybe even Professor Hulk too, because you know he was sitting at that diner at the beginning of Endgame, like signing autographs and talking with people and stuff. So I'm like, I don't know. Maybe somebody is selling information, or somebody's just like, hey, you know, I fought Thanos. Let me tell you about it, you know.
I don't know, man. Like I said, everyone keeps reminding me like, hey, 5 years passed, a lot could have happened. You know, because my biggest issue was I was wondering what about Captain Marvel would have motivated her, because Captain Marvel, as weird to believe, spends all her time out there in space. Mm-hmm. So it's like, well, when was she fucking here to motivate somebody? So when they say, oh, it was the fight in Endgame, I'm like, that's even more confusing than where I thought you were going to begin with. Mm-hmm. Because even in the game is just like Captain Marvel exists. She saw her. She's a hero with the Avengers. That's what motivated her, right? I'm like, that makes all the sense in the world. You see these events happen, right? They're not in the middle of fucking nowhere where the Avengers campus was. It's like just in the middle of broad daylight, a fight breaks out. We got to save the world. I can see it. But when you tell me it happens in the middle of East Bumblefuck, and it's like, but the whole world knows. How? Right? Like,
I don't know. Shield got some good satellites or something. I don't know. They're recording everything.
And I imagine there's probably people out there in the Marvel universe like leaking information and like doing YouTube videos and podcasts about it. You know, like I imagine
like what's his face in Spider-Man who was making videos about Peter. It was like, yeah, I'm Spider-Man's best friend. I can't remember his name. But there's probably something like that.
Shit, fucking Flash.
Flash, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes more sense for Spider-Man, but yeah, that battle is confusing. So I pass it to you, Trevon, as somebody who I assume could care less. You're just ready for Miss Marvel. But does that bother you that it just seems like the world just has too much information? Like, think about it. We have no idea. Yeah, because think about it. When we go to war here in the real world, we know what they only convey. We don't know, like, hey, this soldier specifically put this bullet in that guy. Like, we don't know that shit. We just know they went over there, some shit popped off. They're either coming home or they're going to be there for a while, right? It's just the general shit we know. We don't know individuals did this, that, and it's like, what the fuck are these shits coming from? Does that bother you at all, Trevon, or are you easy like you just push it to the side?
No, not really. See, as I think about it more and more, I think about, I guess, Far From Home. I think about Stark's employees having access to his technology that is in the sky that I'm sure was watching. I mean, it's always up there. He's always asking for stuff to come down from it. So I'm assuming it's recording. I'm assuming it's doing something up there, and I'm assuming it has the best technology on the planet. So, I mean, it's getting out there some kind of way, and I can see, although he's gone, but he was like egotistical, so I can see him be like, look, guys, I don't know. It's getting out there some kind of way. Like you said about Hulk. I mean, he's signing autographs. Like, why would he be signing autographs? Like, I mean, yes, they saved him a few times, but like, there was a really big battle, and they do know a lot of details. Somebody's just giving the story out. There's probably a book, something. Somebody got to make some money off of this. Like, I mean, yeah. So that's fine. I mean, it's fine for me. They have to explain her, admiration for Captain Marvel some kind of way, because she was barely on Earth. Right. So I mean, you can't love somebody that you never see.
Joel keeps telling me that maybe she spent some time on Earth during the 5 years, but I'm like, I don't want that. I don't want you telling me she discovered her in the time that we didn't see.
World, so.
Well, no, remember that was when we came outside of the 5 years later. Remember, it said 5 years later, and then we see like, oh, they had the whole little council thing where they were all in different places. So I'm like, sure, could it have happened in the 5 years? Sure, but as long as you show that like when we get to Miss Marvel the series, you show that she physically saw her do something and was just like, I fucking love that. Like, I want to be that. Because to me, if you just do it as dialogue, it's like, what? Like, yeah. How do we know she was even here? We just gonna take your word for it? All right, Feige. All right, I guess we gotta have a whole lot of trust in you, huh?
Juwaan, you know what you need to do? You just,
we do.
Suspend your disbelief.
I mean, we do.
Suspend my disbelief. Yes. People tell me that all the time. Sometimes I can. It's very easy. Sometimes it is very difficult. Like what? Who was recording this stuff? I need to know. But AJ, I know you could care less about any of it. But did it ever, like, when you were watching WandaVision, like, pop in your head, like, how do they know that? Or did it just go right past you?
No, I noticed it, but at a certain point, I was like, okay, I'll accept it for what it is. But I will say that Iron Man could have recorded the whole entire fight within his suit, and someone could have took the suit, or we actually might get answers within that with Ironheart, actually. So it's a possibility that will be answered within the future. But if it doesn't, it's not really that important. It's more of a nitpick than anything for the overarching universe. So
that's fine. All right, let's move on. The CW is canceling shows left and right. Trevon personally, and this isn't even hyperbole, Trevon personally canceled Naomi after its most recent episode. He said, nah, you got to get the hell up out of here. You ain't got to fly home, but you got to fly the hell up out of here. So Trevon personally did that. He spoke the Flash's future cancellation into existence because he just wanted it so bad.
No.
He yearned it. He said, this will happen. I guarantee it.
Well,
and then boom, what do you know? All the shows just start getting axed. I'm just saying, Trevon, where there's smoke, there's fire. And you have hit me before. Anyway, so the CW is doing an entire cancellation.
What is this narrative?
I'm just saying, you've hit me. AJ saw you punch me before the show started. But anyway, so we do know, as for now, Stargirl is still safe. Superman and Lois is still safe. And for some strange reason, they're moving forward.
That's why.
Say it again?
They're HBO Max shows, technically.
They're not HBO Max shows. Not even technically. Superman and Lois is legit in the same universe as The Flash.
It is co-financed. That's why they're safe. That's what I think. That's why those two shows.
Okay.
Well, they'll just move over. They can easily just those two shows.
Yeah, I do think they're going to move over.
Just move over.
Right, but I'm saying that when you say it like that, it makes it sound like one has nothing to do with the other. It is in the same universe. It's
I'm not talking.
Because it doesn't establish itself in the same universe.
Yeah, I'm talking about business-wise, not universe-wise.
That makes all the sense.
I'm talking about,
Yeah, I'm with you there. That makes all the sense. But they did still greenlight Gotham Knights. Gotham Knights is still happening. I don't understand it either. I do want to throw out there, as I pass it to you, Trevon, that Warner Brothers is looking to sell the CW. They're looking to sell it. It's why Charmed, all that, gone. They're looking to sell it. So why they would greenlight something?
They greenlight a lot of things.
I don't know. No,
they renewed a few things too, though.
Yeah, but you can make a case that the stuff that they're continuing is stuff that whoever buys the CW would be very interested in keeping. I'm talking anything DC. Anything DC. If it's not something you could just move over. Yeah, I'm like, if it's not something because I guarantee you whoever buys the CW will want the attractive parts. We know anything supernatural is a go for fans.
Walker is interesting to me. I was surprised they have a prequel for that or something. They got
a prequel got greenlit?
Yeah, for Walker. Walker something. Independence. Walker Independence.
I will say this. Walker Texas Ranger.
But it's also a guy from Supernatural, so it's like
right. But that show being as successful as it is a testament to the fact that this new generation is powerful. Because that tells you that this new generation, when they heard of that show, saw the face and had no idea that it's a remake.
They absolutely followed him.
I guarantee you, if you ask anybody who watches that show today, and you're just like, "So, what'd you think of Chuck Norris?" Chuck who? It's like, oh, damn. Like, no.
And it's nothing like that. So
no, not at all. I'm not even trying to compare it. I'm just saying that's how powerful the new generation is. That I believe they don't know that it's just a remake. They're just
I have a random question.
It is.
I have a very random question. Is Chuck Norris still alive?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know why I thought he passed away. Okay, no. I wasn't trying to be funny. I really thought he had passed
away. Somewhere Chuck Norris is sitting in the chair just like, oh, God.
I'm about to guest star on that show. Like, calm down. Like,
yeah, like goodness gracious. And you know what? Jackie Chan gets that feeling every other day.
Mm-hmm.
Every other day, Jackie's like, oh, what is happening out there? Like, sorry, Jackie, the world, because they don't see you, thinks you're not here. They don't think you're here.
Apparently, he was supposed to be the star of Everything Everywhere All at Once. I found that out recently.
Oh,
really?
Apparently, he was supposed to be the main character. He turned it down.
He wasn't.
I'm glad he wasn't. I'm glad he wasn't.
Oh, okay. Interesting. I haven't seen it. I'm hopefully gonna go see it tomorrow. I don't know.
It's good. It's really good.
I've been bugging my mom every day. I'm like, can we go see it? Can we go see it? Can we go see it?
I hope you do. Let us know when you do see it, Jamie, so we could talk about it. But that was a very well done movie, and I'm glad they went the way that they did. That's why you gotta let things play out. You know, good things happen when you do it that way. But Trevon, what are your thoughts on all these cancellations? I know how much you love Charmed. So what are your thoughts on these CW cancellations?
Some of it shocked me. But see, okay. When I first saw it, I was okay, I know about all the business stuff that's going on. I just didn't think it'd be sweeping like this. Like, I knew, like, you know, of course, the DC shows and stuff, I was like, okay, those make sense if they're not doing, but some of this, like Dynasty, I was like, really? You canceled it? I was okay. Some of the shows I was really surprised at. Dynasty really shocked me. I was like, wow, Legacy shocked me.
Yeah.
Cause that's a legacy show to that channel. Like, you know, like Vampire Diaries, all that stuff. Like, I was just kind of built in. Like, why would you? That was one of the ones I didn't expect. I didn't like, and Dynasty is like a remake from a show that was on that channel previously too. So I was like, why would you? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Charmed and Batwoman, I tweeted about it. I was like, look, I commend them for even keeping going as long as they did with Batwoman, the main character quitting after the first season. And then the new Charm, I think after season three. Yeah, season 3, she one of the sisters wanted to leave. So they killed her off of the show or whatever. And I was like, okay, you know, yes, it went successfully in the first original Charm, yes, you know, but y'all kind of pushing it. I was like, okay, we're gonna see how this goes. And they, managed to do it. But then today I started thinking about how both the characters lived in vans that became never mind. I started thinking about that. I was like, they both were black girls that lived in vans. Or one don't live in a bus, but still, it's like, it's not. It was really weird. I started thinking about it. I was like, what? Y'all I think it's more ideas, but it's fine. But now the shows are going anyway. So hey, I was like, I was charmed. They really, I thought it was. They did a really good job of teasing you of what happened before, but still somehow changing it and made it. It was still really good, still fun to watch. The feminism was heavy in it, but I appreciated that. I did appreciate that they did that. But a lot of people didn't. But so I think that's what happened to it. But yeah, I don't know. It's just really interesting. I didn't know it was the cancellations and then the renewals and the green light that really threw me off. Because the Gotham Knights being greenlit really threw me off. I was like, what? I was like, that's a DC show. Like, are you guys gonna yeah, we renewed it, but now we're not. Like, is that what's coming next? Like, I'm wondering what they're gonna do. I know the deal takes a long time to finish, so maybe that's why they're allowing it. I don't know. It's just the Gotham Knights thing didn't make any sense. I still can't make any sense of that.
I mean, the only that they greenlit it or
that
the show exists.
But I think it's greenlit for only a pilot. I think that's what it said. But the other shows have got like series, like Walker Independent got like series. I was like, it's interesting that they got a pilot. They're probably going to cancel it. I just,
for sure. And for anyone who thinks that no, it'll probably see the day, I will remind you that they did pilots for the Green Arrow spinoff and then immediately threw that shit in the garbage. I mean, immediately.
They did a backdoor. They did a backdoor pilot thing,
and then they greenlit it for a pilot episode, and then said,
"Yes, they did." No. And I want to say she's the main character of the Walker Independent show, if I'm not mistaken.
So, she found a way to get work. Can never.
Yeah.
Is it Kate McNamara?
Kate McNamara. Yeah. I think she's the lead.
Beautiful. Wouldn't have mind looking at it, but the concept of the show
she's
what
the
rubbed
lead.
me the wrong way. Like a show about Oliver's family in the future. What? Why did you didn't have to make his son so young? Like you could have made him 15.
That's another
16.
timeline that was a little.
Yeah, but I'm like, that's anyway, AJ, I'll pass it to you as somebody I believe was making the executive decisions because you shit on CW daily.
I say we don't ask so many questions.
Oh, okay. You know what? I'll take that, Trevon. No problem.
We know he hates CW.
I'll go to you, Jamie. No problem. What do I always tell you, Trevon? I always tell you, if you guys give me suggestions, I'll take them. I won't even question it. Sure, I'm with you. All right, pass it right along. Jamie, what are your thoughts on the CW stuff getting canceled?
As someone who's not who hasn't watched any of the CW shows for a long time, I haven't seen a cancel. Wait, I thought Trevon was whispering something.
No, I'm watching. I'm reading something. Sorry. Reading something.
You're fine. I haven't seen a cancellation, a group of cancellations like this, I don't think ever. Apparently this has happened at the CW before, which I was like, really? I don't know. I don't really understand where they're trying to go with this, but it could also be because I'm not super connected with the shows. I think I get most of my CW stuff from you and Trevon, and that's about it. So I haven't seen Naomi, but I was planning on checking it out at some point because I thought the trailer looked cool. But now I don't know. Now the Trayvon's giving me the face.
The only cancellation I was like, exactly. I understand.
Oh,
that was all of what I was
sad.
I was like, yes.
That's sad. But yeah, I don't know whether
the way you said that. Oh, that's sad.
It is because I was like, it looked like it was gonna be interesting, and it starred a young black female. So I'm like, that rarely ever happens. So I should show up and support it. And now to hear that it was
that's what I did
treated poorly or just not really given the treatment that it should have been given is sad to hear. Yeah, now I'm trying to think like how would they avoid going through this again? Just because it seems like even like with some of the newer CW shows that they launched, like Naomi or like other things that they started, where it's just immediately getting canceled, or like something has to change, like within
their formula.
Yeah, their formula and their like executive board. I feel
I don't think they would have got canceled if it weren't for this deal going on. I honestly don't think, because CW has been, they're known for renewing everything usually. Like it's rare that they do this kind of cancellation sweep. Even their ratings are lower than everybody else. They still like they have some kind of different standard over there that they don't like, even if it's lower, they still use a sweeping renewal. Like
they have a cult following, but if they wanted to sustain themselves, like it works because Arrow had a cult following. You had people like AJ, and it wasn't just AJ, but people like AJ saying CW shit, Arrow shit, it's all shit. And that cult following kept them alive.
I was right there. I love this shows.
For years. But you start to feel, and again, they said Legends and Charmed and a few other shows, the reason they're canceling a lot of this shit is because of the demand of streaming. So to me, that tells me without the merger, Warner Brothers would have said, well, why are we putting this shit here when everyone's putting their shit on streaming?
Another thing, a lot of these shows lost that they don't have that Netflix deal. A lot of them had like Netflix deals with it. When the season's over, it would go. A lot of these shows don't have it anymore.
Again,
Riverdale apparently still has it. No, I'm saying Riverdale still has there. That's why it's not gone.
So yeah, but like, that doesn't even make sense either because it's a Warner property. So you could have just put it on HBO Max.
Deals before HBO Max came along.
No. You're wait. Are you saying the shows that got canceled also lost their Netflix deals?
They don't have them. Yeah,
right. But I'm saying that shouldn't have had anything to do with it because you have your own. If they didn't have a streaming service, I'd be with you. But you have your own, and it's doing very well. So you could have just put it right there because Batwoman, as soon as it ends, it goes right to HBO Max.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So to me, there were alternatives, but to me, I think the biggest problem is what they need to do is everything just needs to start connecting. It just needs to start connecting. Your TV shows, your movies, start connecting them shits. Build a continuity. You know what I'm saying? Rather than like a flash here, a flash there, a flash there. Like, what? You want me to watch 3 different flash? Like, no, it's too much, right? It's too much. Shit, they put 2 Moon Knights in one show and people went, I don't know what's happening. It's too much. So you put in alternate versions and alternate different versions of shit. It's too much. Do a cohesive DC universe, a TV universe for your streaming service that links up to the movies. And you can even utilize characters that aren't as big through that and introduce them into the universe. You know what I'm saying? Like Moon Knight. You took a great actor, very unknown character, introduce him. Guarantee you people 15 years from now will know exactly who Moon Knight is. That won't be a question anymore. Guardians won't be a question anymore. Miss Marvel won't be a question anymore. So to me, like I said, their formula was starting to become their problem. Like when I see an episode of One Tree Hill and then watch Flash and I can't tell the difference outside of when this motherfucker runs fast, that's a problem. That's a big ass problem. Like it should not be that formulaic to where two drastically different shows feel the same.
Mm-hmm.
That should never happen. Ever happen.
One Tree Hill, you pulled that one out.
I did. Are you impressed, Trevon? Are you impressed? I know my CW history. I was there when it stopped becoming UPN and became the CW. And I followed it. Maybe not watched all of it, but I followed it. I said,
maybe that's their karma. Like they got rid of all the black shows and they merged. You know,
that's what happened. And you know what? AJ never forgave them for that. AJ never forgave them for that and led like a whole hate rant for the past 10 years, and it finally paid off. AJ's smiling because he is the definition of vindication. He's like,
the game was brilliant when I was on there.
It was, but
I wasn't even old enough to be watching that, but I was still like, damn, this shit.
Then it went to BT.
It went to BT, but now it's on Paramount Plus. Like they just won't let it die.
I think the game is on Netflix too. I think it's the original one.
Yeah,
the original, but the newer season is on Paramount.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Brought it back. But when the twin wasn't coming back, I was just like, oh, you think I am? Fuck out of here.
Yeah, when Melanie left,
Yeah, fuck out of here. And that's a little insight into Juwaan. No one knew I watched that shit. Now you do. But Tristan, I pass it over to you. Is this a shock at all, or is this writing on the wall for you?
I'm really surprised they canceled as many shows as they've canceled as many shows as they have. Like they've canceled like 8, right? Like 8 or 9 shows. And I'm just like, what's going to replace this content? Like you still have other shows that are going. So I'm just really curious to see what they're going to do now. Like it sucks because like I follow a lot of television writers and people like that, and it sucks that a lot of those people are out of jobs now. So that's really one of the many unfortunate things about it. But like, yeah, I'm gonna miss. You know what? Charmed and Legacies weren't perfect, but I did enjoy those shows, so I'm gonna miss those. And Legacies, like Trevon was saying, like that's for the Vampire Diaries was a huge show for the CW. So for it to go from that, and then the originals, and then Legacies, like I feel like Legacies only exist because they just didn't want to. They saw the benefit of having some kind of Vampire Diaries universe show on that network. So for them to even cancel it, that's like a huge deal because like. That's like what 12 or 13 years of shows set in the same universe that aren't superhero shows. So yeah, I'm surprised that they canceled as many as they did. So it'll be interesting to see what happens next. Yeah, and Trevon, I think you alluded to this. Like the only reason, because you mentioned like the ratings are terrible on there. So what I heard last year was that the reason they let a lot of those shows keep running is because of the Netflix deal. Whatever money they didn't make while the shows were airing, they made them back in the Netflix deal. So once they got rid of the Netflix deal, it was like, okay, yeah. And
they're going to be on there immediately when the season ended.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All right, let's move on. I am very excited to break down this news because my babies are back. We are getting the entire, seemingly the entire cast of Scream 5.
Yes.
Scream 6.
Yes.
All my babies are back. Every last one of my babies are returning.
But they gonna die. They gonna
super die.
It's too many.
Super die.
I don't think Scream has never had this many survivors. Like we have the 4 from Scream 5, plus we have Gail, Sydney, Kirby's coming back, which is a huge deal. That's a huge deal. I was like, there's like 7 people. I said, these bitches about to die.
Oh, die bad. Look, this is the first time ever in Scream's history I can say this. But they're going to look damn good dying. That's for damn sure. They're going to look good dying. But yeah, so we have Melissa Barrera, Jasmine Savoy Brown, Mason Gooding, Jenna Ortega are set to return along with Hayden Panettiere. We can assume that Sydney will fucking be back. Is there a possibility of Scream existing without fucking Sydney?
I think... so one rumor I heard, and this kind of lines up to what Kevin Williamson's original plan was for Scream 4, 5, and 6. Scream 6 was always going to focus on Gail, and I feel like they're going to pull that with this one. I feel like Courtney Cox, like she's going to kind of be the center, kind of the OG who's the kids are kind of centered around. Right. And I feel like Sydney's going to do a cameo. There's rumors about her like being in like an after credit scene or like a cliffhanger scene. God.
You read my brain. I was just about to say, yo, you know what would make me get out of my seat is if Scream did some Nick Fury Avengers Initiative shit with Sydney. Like whoever survives, and she's just like, you want to build a team? And it's just like, fuck yeah, Sydney. Like The Rock comes in, like just get crazy with it.
What they're saying is it's actually going to end with Ghostface calling Sydney, and he's like he or she is like in her house or outside her house and like threatening her family. So it's supposed to be like a cliffhanger leading into Scream 7.
Oh yeah. She definitely got to end it the way they ended that Fast and Furious where The Rock came in. Yeah, you got to assemble the squad now. Yeah. They got superpowers and shit. Yeah.
But they gotta let Sydney rest though. So I hope like the one of the rumors
that let her rest out when she did.
I was just about to say.
So the rumor. Here's the rumor about the plot. One of the rumors is that like Gail Weathers has a show. And they're apparently like the kids from Scream 5 or like she's gonna invite them on her show or do something like that. And that's gonna be the reason all of them get together. And then of course the killings start happening again. So I hope it's something like that because it's like they have to introduce a way that's believable for all of them to be together again when all these killings start. So
I just want I want Tristian to be casted in one of the next few Screams. So when Sydney's in that casket dead, he can go over and go, "You are finally resting, girl."
Oh,
we have been waiting for the sleep, girl.
Y'all know how black people act at funerals. I'm gonna cut up. I do it for free.
Hold on. All I'm picturing is everybody just like, "Damn, we're gonna miss you." You just hear, "Oh, that's Sydney. Oh no, that's Sydney. No." It's just like, who the hell is that? It's just like Tristian playing Tristian.
Yeah, exactly. They let that lady be. This lady has been running for her life since 1996. Let her live.
Yeah, it's been a minute. I was 3 when she started. That's all I'll say. I was 3 when she started this race. But I'll just say this. As I pass it to you, Jamie, the one thing about the last Halloween movie I asked for was just make it hysterical. I don't need all the jump scares, the gory kills. Make this shit unbelievably, undeniably funny, right? So what I want Scream 6 to do is for motherfuckers to get superpowers. I want this shit to be bananas. I want Sydney to come in like Kill Bill. I just want some kind of shit that is just wildly entertaining, right? Just kind of takes a pivot, like Fast and the Furious did. We were just like racing, and they were like, "Psych, gotcha, bitch. Adventure time now." And it's like, oh, it works. Okay, I don't hate it. I want Scream to take that small little detour where Sydney goes full Kill Bill, has a sword and everything, and is fucking goes face up. I need it, Tristian. I need it to be that, okay? It can't keep charting like this, all right?
We're jumping the shark now. She becomes
Beatrix. I need it. Bill. I need it. Because look, Scream is doing some shit I haven't seen since Drake. It just fucking charts, right? And it's just like some of your shit wasn't even that fire and you're still charting. It doesn't deserve to be this good, Tristian. It needs a swerve. It needs a swerve, Tristian. But Jamie, have you seen Scream 5?
I haven't. I don't even know if I've seen any of the Screams, to be honest. I think I've seen bits and pieces of probably
bits and pieces. Okay.
Maybe like that. Oh my god. Lord. Like maybe I don't even know.
They're not even that scary. Come on, let's get into it.
Listen, I just started getting into like I'm like finally okay with watching horror movies. So maybe I'll take a detour and watch Scream. Is Scream on Paramount? I think Scream's on Paramount, right? Paramount Plus.
The new one is. I don't know about the other ones though.
Okay. Yeah, but I haven't seen. I don't know. I have not seen a full Scream, so
that's wild.
A full Scream.
It reinvented the slasher genre. How can you not? The original one, the 1996.
I'm gonna tell you right now, Jamie. There are very few things a person could say to me that just hurts me to my core. But that was some offensive ass shit you just said. Right?
So I think I said both. Then I've never seen Clone Wars, and I don't like Scream. Like the two things.
Wait, so you don't like Scream?
Or sorry, not I don't like Scream. Okay. I haven't seen Scream.
Okay, there we go. Scream. There we go.
Tristan was about to go. Oh, hold on, 1 second. Let me hold on now. No, but I'm very happy for this. And look, this is one of the few times where I can go to Trevon for some scary shit that Trevon really fucks with. You know what I'm saying? Like usually I gotta pass them on by, but Trevon, these ain't just my babies. These is Tristan's babies, your babies. If Jayla was here, Jayla would be doing cartwheels through the screen and everything. This is our realm right here. We fucks with the Scream world. How happy are you that they're all returning, Trevon?
I'm very excited because they're filming like real soon, right? Or something like
I think I read next month.
I was like, yes, get it, like give me, like get to it. Like these type of movies that don't take long. You film them, couple edits, let's throw it out here. Come on, give it to me. Like you ain't gotta do too much. It ain't CG or something, but like you need a lot. So give it to me. I'm ready. I'm ready. These movies are so fun. Like I don't know, they're just fun. I don't get like sometimes they get me a little bit. All right, now stop the jump. But a lot of times I'm like just enjoying it because it's like funny, and I'll be like, why the hell would you do that? There's a lot of me screaming at the TV. There's a lot of me like just. What the hell? Why the hell would you do that? That's dumb as hell. But it's still so entertaining. So it's I don't know, man. It's just fun. And then seeing like when this came back, and they paying to Sydney. Let's do this.
And look, there's a Trevon to add a little bit more seasoning on it. Apparently, the rumor is this will not take place where it usually takes place. Ghostface will be traveling this time.
Interesting.
So I'm like, okay.
I mean, he traveled a little bit last time, honestly.
He did. But to me, I'm like,
me off.
To me, I'm not ever fans of like a horror movie, right? Like, I'll never watch a horror movie that's about a haunted house, right? A haunted house kills everybody inside. Then like 5 years later, we got a whole new movie in the same goddamn house. Like, who the fuck is the realtor for this one house that is just like, oh, what happened to the last owners? I don't know. I think they died. Here? Yeah. You still want to buy it? Bitch, no. Like, get me the hell up out of here. No, I want to buy this house.
See, that's why Conjuring.
No, go ahead.
Conjuring. That's one thing I'll be like, I could never.
Yeah, like, I'm like, you can't tell me somebody
look
died
at the house.
In this house.
Just look at the house.
Hell no.
There's no way I am buying this. No. Like, they saw the pictures like, yes.
Yeah.
I just don't get it.
Like, motherfucker, you got the
I would have asked you, did somebody die here? I would have asked you. Like, no.
Yeah. So yeah, I can't mess with movies like that because to me it's just like, you know, when you said Tristian to suspend belief, I can't with that. If you tell me that this took place only 5 to 10 years ago, news stories don't disappear that quick. What happened to the last owners? They died. Here, yes. I'm not buying it, and on my way out, I'm setting this shit on fire. So can't nobody else buy it. Like, come on now. Come on. I can't suspend the belief there. But AJ, since you very slightly have a taste in horror movies, I'm not even really sure. Some of them give you nightmares or whatever. Like, are you excited for Scream 6, or is this too much for you? I wasn't sure. You're muted. You're muted.
You're muted.
You're muted.
You're muted. Can't hear you.
We don't know what you're saying.
We can't hear you.
We're just.
Can you hear me now?
There you go.
Yes, you unmuted yourself.
Like I said, I'm completely horrified of horror movies. So
we know.
Yeah, this is definitely not my wheelhouse.
Oh my goodness, AJ. AJ, for you guys that are new to this channel, is lying. Horror movies is what he lives and breathes. But AJ, I believe, is not the biggest Scream fan, so I'm pretty sure he's just like, yeah, whatever. But AJ, stop lying to the people.
Okay. Yeah, I'm excited for this. I actually do love the Scream franchise. Not as much as Halloween, but it's still there. So me getting a lot more Scream, good news. Cast is coming back, great news. Will they die? Even better news. I need to see them die. That's for sure. So yeah,
they can leave Mason.
Yeah, they can leave Jim.
You know what? I think, honestly, I think Mason might be safe because Dewey is there. We need a guy. This franchise always has to have a guy in there, so he might be safe.
Yeah, but Dewey wasn't the jock.
Yeah, that's true, but I don't know. They have to have a final boy.
Like Dewey.
They have to have a final boy in the franchise.
They can introduce him in this next movie, and then he's.
We already have a final boy. We don't need another one. So I'm just saying
we already have one, so we don't need another one.
We don't need another one.
No.
Oh man!
Did you want another Dewey in the first four? The first four? No, Dewey was Dewey.
Yeah, but I'm saying he don't feel like it. I'd have to see how he approaches his character in this new one. For me to definitively, because I'm like, Dewey wasn't a jock, so I don't want the jock to be what replaces Dewey. He was the polar opposite of that. And we all know jocks always got to die. That is just a narrative that never dies.
He can evolve and go. That near-death experience in Scream 5 could have changed him. Let this man grow.
Yeah, but see, that will bother me because that's what I loved about his character was how out there he was. You know what I'm saying? Like, in shy from shit. Like, he was look. I'm attractive. Fuck y'all gonna do about it? Like, he was very much that. So to change him, it's like, no. Let him be that again. So when he dies, I'm like, yeah, that makes all the sense in the world.
You can change him into being the killer.
Y'all always want the heroes to be the killers. Like, no.
Don't put y'all in there. That's Trevon.
That's just Trevon right there.
People have been wanting Sydney to be the killer for so goddamn long. I'm like, why would that?
I would actually enjoy.
I was like, that is so lame. Like, why would she become the killer?
Yeah, that's
like,
weird.
No.
That's
you
very
snap and become the killer.
Trevon, She started in 96. It's 2022. If she ain't snapped by now, Trevon.
But they're giving you that in Melissa Barrera's character. That's our killer right there. That's the one who's gonna go crazy.
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, I see it.
Jenna Ortega is our new Sydney, and her sister Sam is the new Ghostface.
Yeah, and look, Ortega's character has already gone through more than Sydney in one opening sequence. Sydney has.
They put her through in that one.
Like, a stab through the hand. She was like, oh!
Y'all talking about the stab in the hand, locking to the door for me. That was shaking me. I was like,
I'll even go a step further when he stepped on her ankle like that. Like,
that
was. I was just like, God damn. All right, let's move on. We just got one or two more before we get out of here. Jamie, I want to start with you on this topic because this is your wheelhouse. I like to go to people's wheelhouses. We got a Gotham Knights gameplay demo that a lot of people were thriving over, like Trevon. They were redefining characters over that demo. And some didn't like some of the cinematic aspects of how the characters looked. So I'll go to you as our leading gamer here. What were your thoughts on the overall aspect of this demo?
I thought it was good. I think like kind of seeing people's opinions on Twitter, like I think there was like an overwhelming negative response more so than a positive response, saying like, oh, this game doesn't look that great. Granted, like I do follow some toxic gamers, so that might be.
AJ, you follow AJ, right? You follow AJ.
No, AJ. I didn't see anything for AJ. I didn't. Well, no. I actually put like I LOL'd at one of his posts because it was funny. Talking about Jason, like I don't know what the hell he was doing.
Jason,
like,
spirit flying over there. What the fuck is that?
Using his soul energy to walk across the. What?
Love it.
Oh my god!
Trevon's gonna be like, "Oh, Jason,
I'm gonna do that shit for hours."
I was, and it's like I'm not opposed to. I am opposed to it, but it's not like as a mechanic. I feel like they could have been so much more creative with like him as far as like needing a gliding kind of thing, because. I don't understand. I really don't understand why they went with that. And it doesn't make me angry. It just makes me confused.
Can I
say something real quick?
Didn't they give like boomerang super speed and like
that doesn't make sense either. Yeah,
I know what I'm saying. It's just like they're weird. They're giving them like.
You know what? Let me say this, Jamie. You know what I would have loved for them to just going out on a limb to do to just be different, right? So we clearly know Batman glides because of his long ass cape, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
So to me, where you could have been different is like if you want to say Jason has like he could teleport through satellites and like that's how
like the way that
cool.
What's his face? Damien? Is it Damien who's the Robin in this?
No, it's Tim.
No, it's Tim. That's
Tim.
what I was talking about. Yeah, it's Tim.
Yeah.
So like I'm fine with that. That's
travels?
very. Yeah, it's through satellites.
I didn't see. Did it show him?
It's in the first gameplay demo.
Oh, okay.
So
I was also confused that too. I'm like, what the hell just happened?
Yeah, like me and Joel looked at each other like, oh my god. And then when it makes sense, like, oh, he's smart enough to do it. No problem. I would have liked Jason to have done something as practical as a motorcycle is how he gets around. Like if you're playing,
but it's like
Jason,
the gliding though.
The motorcycle. But I'm like, whenever you introduce new things like that, the problem comes from a comic book writer will see that and go, that's pretty cool. Let me implement that.
Yeah.
And then 5 to 10 years from now, that'll be fucking canon for what Jason can do. And that's destructive.
Yeah.
That's destructive. That's where my problem comes from.
I also, Nerdy old boy, who he also said that he was Mr. E in the chat in case you didn't know, Juwaan, but he was saying
shout
Jason
out,
was... Yeah, he's saying Jason was built like a Chevy Suburban. I'm like, yeah, Jason looked like he ate somebody. Like, I don't know what happened. He is huge. And I don't have a problem with that either, but he's just like, he is massive. I'm like, what the afterlife, like, no, he looks thicker, like he's related to The Rock. Like he looks part Samoan. Like he is huge.
God damn, Jamie.
He is freaking huge, man.
I remember that. Hold on.
I like, especially when you see the scene where like he's looking at like the Batman memorial and then like Dick walks up next to him. That's when you really notice like, damn, like Jason is a very large man. He's a very large man. But But I did think the trailer was cool. I thought looking at some of the combat and stuff and like how each character has like their own combat attributes were pretty cool. It's that I don't know what it is, but they're missing something for me to be like completely sold and be like very excited for this. I was initially really excited just because it's like, oh, this is another chance to play a game and we'll get to be in Gotham. Or I guess for me, it'll be the first time I get to play in Gotham. But I don't know. There's something about this.
Jamie has always said that she's never played any.
Oh yeah, you did say that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I will do it.
I remember these things and I write them down in my head so I never forget them.
Mm-hmm. So you don't get shocked every time. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But
right. Or
but,
angry, not even shocked.
Or angry. Yeah.
Just angry.
But yeah, there's something about this that worries me, I guess. And I think it's like adding a lot more of the comedic aspect to it, which I would say does differentiate it from the Arkham series, but at the same time, like trying to mix that with telling the story of the Court of the Owls, like I don't know if they're going to try and do that or if it's going to be a completely tonal shift, because I also think that would be a little bit strange. So story wise, I'm a little bit concerned, but as far as like the mechanics and everything goes, like I think it's going to be a really fun game to play.
I hope that they allude to the Court of the Owls in the background, and the whole premise of the game is just to keep Gotham safe in the wake of Batman being gone.
It seems like it's going to be like a big story point. Like they've highlighted it in like I think every gameplay demo and like every trailer so far.
See, with the smarter way, and I won't fully say this because obviously I haven't played it, but what the better route would have been is to focus on the kids keeping Gotham safe from Batman's rogues, and then the DLC is it turns out Bruce isn't dead, and it's now, AJ, you know the comic very well of Batman fighting his way out of the control of the Court of the Owls, and then you could sync it back up with the team helping Bruce defeat the Court of the Owls. That would be a dope ass DLC that everybody can wrap their heads around, where you could play as literally anyone. Batman, Batgirl, not any of the Robins, I'm sorry. Tim, Jason, Dick Grayson. That to me sounds way better. But again, I can't officially say that because I don't fucking know because I don't have the game. But I am with you, Jamie. Seeing it was kind of just like the gameplay seems like the typical Arkham style. So that was never going to be something that made or broke me. It's always a story, right? Yeah. Because I'm a big fan of going back and just watching cutscenes on YouTube. Like, shout out to all those guys that have the 14 hours of cutscenes. Like that's that editing shit. Like
Batman Arkham Knight, the movie or something
like
that.
Right. And then the people that put together the whole series of like all the Arkham games together in order, which is like, God damn. Shout out to MK Fire and Ice. He's who I follow that I usually always go to his page for my cutscenes. So shout out to you. He hasn't paid me, but maybe now you should. But anyway, so I'm not really sold yet. I think what I'm gonna wait for is Joel to get it, or actually, I'm sorry. Let me backpedal. Jamie, if you get it first, or if Trevon gets it, because I know AJ probably will just skip this completely.
Oh, I'll have it midnight. It'll be loaded on my machine. Yes.
Okay, so whichever one of you guys plays it first, I'll wait for you to tell me how it is, and I'll grade Trevon's. I'll judge yours on a curve. if Trevon oversells it, I'll know to just work myself down just a little bit, and then like, okay, because Trevon probably likes it for all the reasons I probably won't, but it doesn't mean that it's not a good game. It just means all the things that pop for Trevon, I'm gonna look at and go, I didn't like that.
I think the other thing that concerns me though, I did hear a rumor. This isn't the thing that concerns me, but I did want to throw this out there before I forgot. I did hear a rumor that they were thinking about doing like 4-person multiplayer instead of like the co-op, which I would love to see. I don't know how they pull it off, but I'd love to see. But the thing that concerns me though, that a lot of people have been pointing out, is that they've removed kind of like the PS4 and like the Xbox One tags as far as like the consoles that they're going to be available on. So I don't even know if they're going to be going to or coming to like the last generation of consoles.
They're not.
They're not. They confirmed it.
Yeah. They said no PS4, no Xbox One.
Yep.
That's a yikes. I can understand why though.
their explanation was they want you to experience it the best way possible.
Yeah, because like Cyberpunk tried to make it work and they did not. So I could see.
Look where Cyberpunk's at. Look where Cyberpunk's at.
Yeah, it's still a good game though. I recommend it.
I don't. Don't do it.
Get it on a console where it works.
No, because I mean, part of my problem was it's not even a money thing for why I haven't upgraded to the newer system. It's just I play my Switch all the time. So I'm like, I would buy this new PlayStation or this new Xbox and just fucking look at it, right? Because I'm like, I'm so into Switch. I just love it. I can just walk around and fucking play my Switch, right? Like I don't have to be bogged to be in front of a television to enjoy.
And they'll probably be doing the Switch Pro next year. They'll probably be either they'll announce it, I feel like at the end of this year, or they'll announce the beginning of next year.
And now, guess what Juwaan will be doing? Making his leap to that, because I guarantee you when they announce that, either a new Mario,
Breath of the
Smash
Wild,
Brothers, or Breath of the Wild will be
100%
with it.
I feel like that's 90. I'm 90% sure that's why they delayed it, because people were saying like, oh, the last little teaser that they showed of Breath of the Wild 2, like it looked way too crisp to be on Switch. Like there was like the fidelity and stuff, like it was too high that for a Switch to be able to run and not like blow up in your face. So
I'll tell you guys this. You'll know that a new Switch is coming because every stream I'll be telling you guys to buy shit from GVN store so I could take all your money and go buy the new Switch. I shouldn't have said that. Now people are going to think that I do that. I do. But anyway, so I want to go. So I started with Jamie. Sorry. So Trevon, I know you're very excited about this. It leans into the lore for you that everybody has to fly or have magic. So I'll let you go into how excited you are on this demo that we got a chance to look at.
So I already like the Arkham games anyway. Now I will admit I have never completed one. I've never sorry. I haven't. I have a problem with I think the only game I've actually like finished. I haven't 100% of any game, I don't think. But I have like played like all the stories, Spider-Man and stuff like that. But Batman just got too much shit to do. I've never played all the side messages on Spider-Man, all that stuff. Then the main story, I'll do the main story, but I ain't doing all that other, like it's a whole bunch of other shit. I ain't doing all that. Collecting all the trophies and shit. I ain't doing all that. I will get on that game, ride the car, beat people up. That shit's great. I will do the main story. That's about it. That's as far as I go.
It did look like in the demo that it had some of those elements from the Spider-Man games where like, they're bad guys driving down the street and you have to try and catch them. Like it looked like the part where Jason like hops in the car and like stops it. Like that looks very much like a Spider-Man thing. So I'm like, okay, this might be closer to Spider-Man than people might think.
No, they didn't have like random stuff like that happen. I mean, you would see like games and you would fight them or something. I don't remember anything like that.
Maybe it was mainly in Miles Morales then. I never got to play the first Spider-Man, but I played Miles.
No. I'm talking about like Batman games like before.
Oh, yeah. No, they didn't have that in Batman games. Yeah.
So yeah, that's new. But yeah, I'm excited to watch. I'm about to say watch, play this game. Yeah. I mean, I think I got the PlayStation 5 because of Miles Morales. The only reason I have PlayStation 5, honestly, to be honest, because my job paid for it. That's the only reason I have it. So,
what?
That's the only reason
tell them, get me an Xbox. Get me an Xbox.
They'll be buying my Switch OLED as well. But yeah, I'm just saying. I'm excited for the game just because it's fun. It's gonna be a fun time. Hopping across the sky look cool. Like I said, I like games where I can, if I just want to get on there and just mindlessly do whatever, like swing like I do to Spider-Man sometimes, I can do that. I can literally swing and then nothing's going to stop me from doing that for hours if I want to. So if I can sky hop or whatever he's doing, like just do it if I want to, sure.
It confuses me. Because I'm like, is that supposed to be his gliding system? Because if it is, like, he's just going to continue, like, take steps down? Or is he legitimately just, like, he's just walking and just keep going?
Well, it looked like
I try not to think about it.
I thought it looked like Nightwing's like was going up and down with it had propellers on it. It wasn't like just a glider. It had.
It seemed like it was just
propulsion.
going down for me, but maybe I have to watch it again.
Oh, maybe. Okay, but I mean, I don't know.
It would make sense if it went up though, because it looks like it could go up.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Look, I don't blame your mindset, Trevon, because I think the most fun I ever have in GTA is like when I have a bad day and I just angry drive.
Oh, I've never played the missions in GTA ever.
Yeah, me neither. Actually,
I
played a couple of the story missions, but like mainly in multiplayer. I just mainly play multiplayer.
My sister loves playing the missions. I'm like, I get on there, I get the guns, I shoot people, run people over. Like, steal cars.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
That's what I do. Like, yeah. So
AJ, did you want to say anything before you had to jump off? We're about to get out of here with after this topic, but did you want
I wasn't really leaving. I was just yeah.
Damn, didn't say that, man. I'm sitting here. Goodness gracious. Anyway, so yeah, like I said, you just mindlessly wanted to do stuff for hours. I completely understand. But what you want to do in that game for mindlessly for hours is what I have a problem with. Not you just wanting to do that. I understand that all the time. Because you can't drive angry in real life. So I boot up GTA, crash into everyone, old lady walking, trying to cross the street, making her a hood ornament. I get it. I do. I get it. But that Jason shit, that's a no. That is a
that was wild.
It really surprised me. I was like,
it did.
What?
Yep.
I said he's doing what?
You really see my face. I was like, what the? And I was like, what?
I'll tell you this. It surprised me as much as when Trevon comes on here and goes, yeah, so I'm just waiting to see America Chavez fly. And I just went.
You also said it's on the Marvel site. That's one of her powers.
No, but when you said it, because I don't remember the fucking cartoon. So when you said it, I'm like, I've never read America Chavez.
That's the only America Chavez I knew about.
What is Trevon trying to do here? Making everybody fly. So my vindication came when the end credit scenes rolled and she flew not once. I said, oh yeah. So I'm hoping whatever the hell Jason uses gets shot out of the sky, and it's like, well, can't
it's
use
his
that
soul
no
energy though.
Yeah, shoot him in his soul. It wouldn't be the first time. Shoot him right in his goddamn. Where Joker at? Call Joker. He'll shoot him in his soul. No, but I am interested in seeing how they explain it when the game comes out. Like,
oh, definitely.
You know, because I assume it's the same technology that Tim is using to travel through satellites. So it's like, all right, well, how do you explain it? Maybe the explanation will make me.
What they did is say his soul energy from being in the pit.
Yeah.
AJ, I'm gonna go ahead and pass it to you.
They said it. I'm just.
They did say that. I want to hear more though. Like how? Like why does nobody else have this? Why does nobody else have this though?
Just like Kate Bishop could teleport in the Avengers game. That was so random. But they were like, oh, she got it.
No, not
stole
really.
It from whatever.
Not really. The only reason I accepted that from Kate Bishop is I do believe because Kate and Clint are almost identical. Right? Like if you close your eyes, you're just like
didn't teleport.
No. I'm saying the reason I was okay with the teleportation was because it was something that identified her and separated the two of them. Like this is distinctively what I can do that Clint can't. Right? So to me, I'm like, okay, I can get that. But this motherfucker soul hopping, you tell me that's your only way to transport? I got a soul hop. And then you soul hop? What? Come on, man. Where's your grapple gun? Grapple down some shit.
He was grappling too. He was grappling
ants. AJ, go ahead, AJ. What were your thoughts on the demo? I don't want to scream. I tried to make that a vow for the rest of this year.
I'm curious how the buttons are going to go for this now. If he can grapple as well.
I don't want to hear any more from Trayvon's thoughts on this. AJ, what are your thoughts on this demo that came out for I don't even fucking know what this is called.
Gotham Knights.
Gotham Knights.
Isn't that what the series is called too, by the way?
Sure is.
Yes, it is.
Sure.
Jesus Christ.
So you know what people gonna think? They're like, it all works together.
Hey, wait, AJ, you know what's even worse? The premise is the same but different. So Batman dies, but it's about Carrie Kelly bringing together all of the people, all of the villains' children that are theorized of killing Batman and making them into a team to find the real person who killed Batman. So yeah, so like Carrie Kelly's part of that, Spoiler's part of that, I think. they made up a character. Like the show.
Fuck, man.
The show
Jesus
should be canceled
Christ.
after the opening credits for sure.
It's not the pilot's gonna happen. They're gonna cancel it. It should not happen. I really believe that, honestly. It's gonna let them do the pilot. And then...
I pray. Don't even let them do that shit.
I don't even want to talk about this game. All I'm gonna say is I'm ready for Star Wars Survivor. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all. I'm not even gonna talk about this dumbass.
Oh yeah, the
game.
sequel of that. Oh my god.
Can't wait to see that team come back together. That is easily my most anticipated anything. Is that fucking sequel?
Technically, any of the Star Wars games right now is easily the most anticipated games that
I don't know because they got pushed back, but what was it? Star Wars Eclipse?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That really intrigued me because even me knowing the books, I looked at this and had no idea what the fuck I was looking at. Like what
well, all I know is that they said that it was set in the High Republic era. So
right, that's what I'm saying. Me who also read the book, I still didn't know what the fuck I was looking at. None of that looked familiar. So I'm like, I can't.
Which is a great thing.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, that's also very high on my list because I'm like, I don't know what any of this is. But Tristian, did you check out the demo for Gotham Knights?
I didn't. I have no idea what y'all talking about.
It's completely fine. It's completely fine. Don't even worry about it. All right. So last quick thing before we get out of here. I don't want to do another topic. I want to do this to be fair to AJ because AJ didn't have a chance to during the week. AJ, you're gonna end us with your thoughts on Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
Damn. Okay, that's fine with me. First off, I just
someone call the haters. Let them know.
Okay, I actually did like this movie a lot. Did I have problems with it? Absolutely. Some of the editing I did not care for, and I do understand that it's Sam Raimi's style of that choice of editing, which completely fine. For me, it does not work for me as a comic book movie anymore. It worked with Spider-Man 2 and all that. That's the past. Now is now. I do like the horror aspects of the Multiverse of Madness, but it made me think of what Scott Derrickson would have done differently, a lot more than me actually like focusing on the movie itself of what Sam Raimi did, which is a little bit of a distraction, but I actually did like the horror aspects. The editing, not the editing, the flow of the movie did feel a little slow at some parts and a little fast at others. The way they tried to touch on WandaVision and then just completely ignored it at that, I think it was near the beginning of where Wanda first appeared and all that, which I understand that Kevin Feige wants to separate the movies and the television and all of that, but if it's going to connect, then just connect it. It's a sore subject. I know that a lot of people just want to keep it solo and all of that, but for me, it needs to connect to what the story is trying to tell. Multiverse of Madness is about Wanda and her story in WandaVision. So for me, it would have made more sense for it to have more of a representation within that specific movie, have Vision in it and all that. So that's just me. The action in it was great. I actually did like the musical set piece of Doctor Strange versus Doctor Strange. I actually thought that was executed pretty well, which is funny because a lot of people didn't like it. And that was one of Sam Raimi's ideas to do it to begin with. So that's that. I had something else written down. Yeah, I'm not gonna talk about that. I'm not gonna talk about that.
What? No, talk about it. What is it?
No, because that's just that's just talking about Phase 4 in general. But
throw it in there. What?
Jesus Christ! Now I gotta go through it. Okay, fine.
Anybody tell you to skip it?
Hey. Okay. So what I did like about this is the way they involved the Illuminati. I love the way that they use them. The way they talked about what was Doctor Strange like in that universe, and I actually did like the inclusion of the incursions and all of that. I really like that they're expanding on the lore and stuff like that. So that's a good thing. But overall, I did like it. Fun movie, but I did have some issues with it.
Yeah, we all did. Me and Tristian did. Jamie did. Trevon put it up there with the greatest cinema to ever exist. But we did have our issues with it. But like I said, I didn't think I was bored in it, but it doesn't mean that it was the worst thing I've ever seen. I now experienced that today.
I think I have it on 19 on my list.
Okay.
Yeah, 19.
Okay. I will say that I definitely have this in my top 15 for sure. It's definitely in my top 15. It did a lot of pretty cool shit. The story was very just like, oof, yikes. Michael Waldron, don't bring that shit to my fucking Star Wars, bro. That's all I'm fucking saying. Your script was whack. I've seen whack Star Wars scripts. Don't need it again.
Don't need it again.
I don't need it again. Go ahead, Trevon.
Never mind.
When you start it, it needs to happen. Say it. You already started it. Say it.
I was getting ready to, go against, how.
So say it. We don't take away people's opinions.
The Moon Knight, was it writers, whatever, producers are coming over here. It's my Fantastic Four.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Wait, what? I didn't hear what he said.
So no, elaborate what your issue with them is.
I was bored in Moon Knight, so just stay over there. I don't want you over here for this war. Stay over there. I just thought when you said that, it's like the opposite. I'm like,
I do just want to give you just a quick little thing. Fantastic Four are also very strongly driven on story and visuals. So all the fighting and kick butt that you're looking for, that's not really them. They're very much adventure driven, story driven, and just visuals. Just visuals. That's all I'm trying to say. I'm just trying to prepare you.
I was promised brutality and all that. Moon Knight, I ain't get none of it. To me,
you didn't get none of it.
I didn't get bloody. I didn't get brutality. I got a lot of 3-4 episodes of fight.
Yeah. I was kind of surprised that Doctor Strange went to the links that it did, because I'm like, this is way worse than Moon Knight. Way worse.
Well, again, I didn't expect them to change the character the way that they did, right? And we obviously see now we will get that more violent version of Moon Knight going forward. I didn't expect that. So when I hyped up Moon Knight, I hyped it because I thought I thought Mark was going to be the Mark that we know, right? Because Jake is the most peaceful of all of Mark Spector's, personalities, because he's just a cab driver. He just drives a cab. He picks up these dangerous individuals to kind of get information on what's going on the streets. But he is the least violent of all. So
they changed it around so you guys wouldn't know.
I don't think necessarily so that we wouldn't know. I think they just made it in a way to where we could recognize the character, but the audience is being introduced in a whole new way to this character, right? Because Steven is just a rich guy. That's it. That's all that character is. Just a rich guy. That's it. Nothing really else to him. The violence comes from Mr. Knight and Mark Spector. That's it. So that's really what the drastic changes were. So that's where I was wrong. So when you said you were promised all this violence, I didn't expect they were gonna pull a complete fucking switcheroo. So that's where that confusion came from. But you saw how it ends. That's where they're going with it. So to me, I'm just letting you know, Fantastic Four in the comics are very much driven by story and visuals.
I've seen a lot of Fantastic Four stuff.
Okay,
and I'm ready for the family. Ready for the family.
All right. AJ, last thing before we get out of here, we were trying to prepare Trevon for Wednesday, give him a little glimpse of it. But I wanted you to be the one to kind of drive this home. Give Trevon a little taste of how powerful Franklin Richards is.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And how crazy it's going to get when he gets introduced up in this mug.
I honestly don't think he's ever... he was hinted at.
He was. Okay,
never mind then. but they're terribly going to debuff him a lot, like they do with a lot of their male characters now that I've noticed for some reason. Anyway, Franklin Richards is, I won't even say the most powerful mutant because he's not anymore. He's one of the most powerful mutants. He's able to create multiverses basically in his sleep. So he's also fought, who did he fight?
He made Galactus his herald.
Yeah, so he brought back Galactus to life and made him his herald. And shit is crazy. This shit is really crazy, but we're not going to get any of that within the MCU because...
Hey, you just said something that opens the door for its character. You just said he creates multiverses. Only Lord knows when we're getting out of this whole fucking multiverse thing. Maybe he's the only way to close it, right? But another reason I believe we're going to get him, they alluded to a Richards in Loki as the Kang variant was one of the descendants of the Richards. So I'm like, well, shit. Well, then there we go. We should get it right then and there. So for me, because the reason why we talked about Franklin AJ was someone was asking, who do we think in the MCU or Marvel? No, I'm sorry. They were asking, is there anyone in Marvel that could defeat the Scarlet Witch? And we were just like, oh, fuck yeah, there's a ton of people. And now I'm like, well, if we just want to stick in the MCU, if we're to believe Franklin exists, Franklin can defeat the Scarlet Witch.
Yeah.
But in pure Marvel, it's like Jean Grey could. Even if Jean Grey can't, not Scarlet Witch, I'm sorry. Phoenix can. The Phoenix Force is way more powerful than the Scarlet Witch.
Well, technically, no, they're on the same level. So the Scarlet,
no.
The Scarlet Witch
that
and
Phoenix
the Phoenix
Force.
Force.
Motherfucker.
Trust me, the Scarlet Witch. Actually, I won't even say Scarlet Witch. I would say shit. What is the actual source called?
Oh fuck. No, they call
Chaos
it
Magic. I think it is Chaos Magic.
No, I think that's what the MCU calls it. I don't know. I don't remember if that's what
regardless, that and the Phoenix Force are technically rivals within power. So technically, they're still on equal playing fields.
Well, I'm gonna have to reread that whole Phoenix Force saga because I could have sworn she was able to do more shit than I've ever seen the Scarlet Witch do.
See, I guess that's where my I've only seen the cartoons and I've seen her be powerful, but not reality warping in the cartoon.
In the comics,
I don't remember
it very much is.
See, I don't remember any of that from the cartoon. That's why I'm like, I didn't know she had that power.
That's what I'm saying.
Everybody keeps bringing that up. I'm like, what?
Because
and to be fair, Jean is not even the strongest user of the Phoenix Force. It's Summers.
Right.
Who?
Summers. Her daughter.
Oh, okay.
A lot of these people's kids are way more.
They're one above. Yeah.
Yeah, they give birth and they're just like, you could do what? It's like I can only go invisible and he just stretches. How the fuck did you create universes?
It's like on Charmed.
But that was explained though because he was twice blessed, so they had a reason.
Right. So we were telling Trevon that in the MCU, Trevon's got us. It's Wanda, right? As far as everyone we have as of now, it's Wanda. She's the most powerful. I would rival. We've never really seen the full extent of Danvers' power, but it could be close as far as strength.
Well, we saw that fight kinda in here. I mean, she overpowered her. So.
No. I believe that Captain Marvel's power set is different than the her full binary mode. I don't think is the same.
I mean, they made them look exactly the same, like their power.
They did, but I still believe we haven't seen the extent of our Captain Marvel's power set. So in the MCU, it is one.
Don't get me excited. Don't give me hope.
No, I'm just saying. I don't know if that was the. I don't know if Thanos was the extent.
I've seen it.
I don't know.
Oh Lord.
I'm not saying to get prepared for it. I'm just saying I don't know.
She can do more.
They never said it. But yeah. So unless Franklin exists in the MCU, it's Wanda by a mile. Unless we get Worldbreaker Hulk, that's up there.
Yeah, not even Worldbreaker Hulk.
Could her son be more powerful?
Huh?
Could her son be more powerful?
Wanda's no. Neither of her kids are more powerful than her.
Oh, okay.
especially right now as is, Wiccan is just speed. Even though the Ultimates did some wild shit, like Pietro could run so fast, he could peel the flesh off of your body. So I'm like, his speed was fucking all kinds of OP. So I don't know, but I don't remember. AJ, you'd have to correct me. I don't remember if her other son, not Wiccan, but her other son was more
I would just
powerful.
assume Wiccan can access chaos magic. That's why I was wondering.
Wait.
Wiccan can. It's Wiccan is the one that's not the speedster. Wiccan's not the speedster.
Tommy.
Is it Tommy?
No. You're right, Tristan. I mean their comic book names. You're right. In the MCU.
Wiccan and Speed.
Oh, duh! It is just Speed. Fuck. Yeah. You're absolutely right. Yeah, duh. So yeah, I'm sorry. So Wiccan's never accessed that level of chaos magic in the comics, though. Of where Wanda is in the MCU.
No, he doesn't access chaos magic. Like in the last run, they revealed that he's something called like the demiurge. He's like this all-powerful being, but it's not chaos magic though.
Right. So we'll say this, Trevon. The way that the MCU is going, it seems like whoever the counterpart is better than who came before, right? Whether it's emotionally, mentally, physically, whatever. So it's very powerful. Very possible in the MCU. Wiccan might be pretty fucking strong.
I think we're getting confused because Wiccan does have reality warping powers,
right,
and so does.
Right. I tell you what, God bless whatever superhero kindergarten they set up when Wiccan and fucking Franklin walk in that door. Just like, so first day of school, I could fucking kill.
Well, I feel like Agnes is gonna. Is it Agnes?
Yeah.
Agnes is gonna have a huge role within the future of the MCU.
I agree. First thing I said was when I was in the theater, and she said, "Do you have kids?" And he's like, "Yes." And I was just like, Agatha's show makes so much more sense now. So much more fucking sense now that she might be trying to conjure up her strength again from stealing the powers from these children. That would be fucking brilliant. And we get to see the kids fight Agatha back. I would fucking love that. Watch it be nothing like that. Anyway, let me see if you guys said anything else here. The biggest shocker of the MCU. Franklin Richards is the one who created the MCU 616 universe. Dun dun dun. That would be hilarious. He's going to be so nerfed in the MCU. I won't say so nerfed because when you look at, and again, we got to find a better name, but that was his actual name. But White Vision. White Vision was super powerful, way more powerful than our actual Vision. So it's like
he has no emotions.
More powerful than Vishon.
Vishon. Yeah, we don't do turtle.
The colored Vision.
I low-key wanted to see Wolverine and that's you. I'm like, oh, who's that? Oh, that's pretty dope. I still consider Dormammu to be on par with or more powerful than Wanda. See, Dormammu's difficult because if you're talking about someone coming to Dormammu's world, then yes, Dormammu is essentially the most powerful being in everything. But Dormammu stepping on an even playing field, I think Wanda could watch Dormammu.
Well, no, that's Nightmare you're thinking about. Nightmare is stronger within his reality.
No, Dormammu's stronger in the Dark Universe.
Might be
both. Because
here's my thing. Here's my thing, AJ. If Doctor Strange be whooping Dormammu's ass, and we believe Wanda could whoop Doctor Strange's ass, by proxy, you have to assume Wanda could watch both of them, right?
Did Doctor Strange really whoop his ass, or did he trick him?
No. You're talking MCU. I'm talking just the comic history. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think we'll see in the third one, Doctor Strange actually physically have to fight. Did you say supper?
Well, it's late. It's late.
Dinner/supper.
You don't get your old ass out of here, Jamie. All right.
It's late.
We're getting out of here.
Jamie said, I gotta go eat. Shit.
Oh man, that is wild. Okay, we gotta go, guys. We love you all. We will see you tomorrow for Star Wars Saturday and Sunday for GVN Roundtable. Please follow us on Twitter so you can see when these shows will be going on. We're still trying to figure out the times. But we gotta go so supper can be eaten with, and it's mush like applesauce. And go ahead and eat your old people food, Jamie. But till next time, guys. Peace.
See ya.